Live from the AM1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM1310 WDPN.
And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome into the University of Mount Union today. The Sam Bourquin Show live here on AM 1310 WDPN, and it is an AWP Safety Football Friday. Shout out to our good friends at AWP Safety. Don't forget now, they are hiring traffic flaggers, and make sure you get on their website to check out all the great things they've got going on. Paid training, certification, advancement. For more opportunities, visit jobs.awpsafety.com. Again, shout out to AWP Safety for hooking us up every Friday with our AWP Safety Friday football show. Boy, what a beautiful day today. I think we're going to get to 70. That's going to be about it. We got some puffy clouds. We got a beautiful sunshine today. And we're going to be here until 6 o'clock tonight. And then pregame at 6:30, and then showtime 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. 7 o'clock kickoff here at the University of Mount Union as the Purple. I'm going to be doing this all day. I am so used to being here and calling Mount Union games. I gotta fix that today. The Alliance Aviators will be taking on the Louisville Leopards tonight. We'll have all the action here on AM 1310 WDPN. You can listen to us tonight as well, like you're doing now on the WDPN Facebook page, our page on X, the Q92 Radio page on YouTube. And again, Caleb Norick will be joining me tonight for the broadcast, our pregame at 6:30, and we'll kick it off at 7. So Sammy B here on location at the University of Mount Union, and Ryan Rainsberg is back on Smith Avenue at the headquarters of AM 1310 WDPN. A busy day back there for the station as we'll have our football game tonight, 6 more games all along the Q92 Radio Sports Network tonight. We'll be telling you about those games, about those broadcasts, what you can expect tonight. And we'll talk a little Buckeyes, a little Browns today, a little bit of Guardians, not much, because, well, they need to sweep or they're cooked. That's pretty much what I've gotten that broken down to. So Cleveland-Seattle tonight, game 1 of that 3-game series. The Guards come in 66-66. They are 5 games out of the third wild card spot in the American League. Last night we had some college football. We had a couple of interesting ball games, and we'll get into those. The University of Akron came out and laid another egg yesterday. Ohio had a tough loss at Rutgers. Buffalo had a tough loss at Minnesota. The Cincinnati-Nebraska game was really entertaining last night. It went down to the final minute at Arrowhead Stadium. They had like 74,000 or so, and the Bearcats almost came back, but the Nebraska held them off and picked up their first win. And with Travis Kelce and Taylor and Patrick Mahomes and his wife, and they were all there last night. And that was a really, really good ball game. I think Cincinnati's going to win a lot of games. And boy, Nebraska, after the last several years, what have they not been able to do? Finish. And I thought, here they go again. Bearcats are going to come down there and at least get a field goal. It was a 3-point game, but they went for the gusto, threw a ball in the end zone. It was picked off by the Huskers, and that was the end of the ball game. I want to let you know, everybody, that the phone numbers are open today, 330-821-1310. We'll try to get you in, 330-821-1310. You can text the program at 330-924-7088, and you can drop your comments on all of our social media platforms. What a beautiful night. But what a difference a week makes. Now, last weekend, we were over at Marlington, and I remember opening the show. It was sunny. It was a little bit warm, but it wasn't like crazy uncomfortable humidity. But then once we got into like the 4 o'clock hour, 4:30, a quarter of 5, you could tell there was a significant jump in the humidity, and it just got muggier and muggier as the night went on. And then, we're doing the game between Marlington and Warrensville Heights, Caleb and myself, and guys are just dropping like flies, cramping up. I mean, the game it was 3 hours last week for the game to get played because of all the cramping up and the stoppages in play and all that stuff. But today, I mean, we'll be lucky to crack 70. It's going to be very comfortable tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of folks have a little light jacket tonight or maybe a little hoodie. But it's going to be beautiful. We're going to be in the 50s tonight, and it should be a great game between Louisville and Alliance. The Aviators went over Parma Padua last weekend. Leopards took care of New Philly. So, a nice little 1-0 start for both these teams, and they'll knock heads here tonight a little bit after 7 o'clock. Again, shout out to AWP Safety. They will be with us all season long here on the Friday show on AM 1310 WDPN. Now, I'm just starting to, what time is it? It's about 3:15. So, when I do the Mount Union games here, I'll be starting my 10th year of calling the Purple Raider football, and it's hard to believe. I'm loving every minute of it. Usually, their games start at 1:30. So, about the first 3 or 4 minutes of the fourth quarter, you can tell the sun is starting to make its move. And where we are located here, we are on the visiting side at Larry Kehers Stadium. But the Mount's home side is on the other side where the covered stands are, and the visiting side is over here. Same way with the Alliance fans will be across from us tonight, and the Louisville folks will be underneath us. So you will hear them tonight. You may not hear the Alliance fans as much because they're way over on the far side. But anyhow, with the 1:30 kickoffs, you get to halftime. It's usually close to 3 or so. And then about 3:20, 3:30, the sun just peppers you in this press box because it is just coming. It's coming straight at you. And even though we are behind windows, we've got a little bit of a window here where we drop our crowd mic through to pick up the crowd noise and give it the ambiance that you want to have during the broadcast of a high school or a college football game. So starting the show here today at 3, I know in about another 25, 30 minutes, I'm going to get cooked in here. And even though it's only 70, like the sun just beats on you here. And I'm a little worried about our equipment here because it's right in the sun. And I'm hoping it kind of doesn't, overheat a little bit because the sun is really cooking it. But so we'll be dealing with that for a little while, and then probably about the middle of the first quarter, end of the first quarter, the sun will start to take a dip around 7:35, 7:40, and then by 10 till 8, 5 till 8, we'll be in good shape. So I might get a little suntan here today. Nothing wrong with that. 330-821-1310 is our number. 330-821-1310. We have got our game tonight, and let's see, I got all this paperwork here. Tonight on the Q92 Radio Sports Network, I want to let you know all the games we've got going on for you tonight. On Q92, it will be Medina and Hoover. Okay, that's a pregame at 6:30, and they'll kick that one off at 7. Then on the Q92 Radio Sports Network tonight, we've got New Philly at West Branch. We've got Jackson at Austintown Fitch. CVCA at Canton South. Akron St. Vincent St. Mary at Perry. And Lake will be at Boardman. So those are all the games tonight on the Q92 Radio Sports Network. And again, on the Q92 Radio, Clint and the crew, that will be Medina at Hoover. There are quite a few games tonight that that to me don't appear like they're going to be close. Just kind of taking a look at what happened on week one and who's some of the returning starters coming back, who lost a lot to graduation, maybe some teams that are maybe beat up a little bit already or got hurt in the scrimmages or something along those lines. I don't see a lot of like I think this game's going to be close tonight. And when I say close, I mean within a touchdown, maybe, maybe 7 to 10 points. And I would probably put Louisville as a small favorite here tonight. But looking at some of the other ball games in and around the county, Manchester, Sandy Valley, I don't expect to be close. I think Manchester could probably name the score tonight. Perry, St. Vincent, St. Mary, I don't think it's going to be close. I think St. V is down this year a little bit, maybe more than a little bit. And I think, Perry got that opening win against Canton Central. They've had an extra day to prepare for St. V because that game was on a Thursday. I think Perry might be, if they want to, they might be able to name the score tonight. Maslin, Glen Oak, I just don't see that being close at all. I think the Tigers can name the score there. I think Hoover Medina could be, I don't know. I think I know Hoover's better, and they're going to be at home, and Medina's going to have to make the road trip tonight. Vikings, they beat Bookville 30-zip last week, but there was still a lot of mistakes there. So I'm pretty sure Coach Baum and the staff got after the kids in practice this week and, got to clean some of that stuff up, just like a lot of teams. We've talked about this before. Week 1 and week 2, that's when you show your biggest your biggest improvement, if you will. So I think Hoover wins that game tonight, and I would not be surprised if they win that one by a couple of touchdowns. This ball game, I believe it'll be close. I believe the McKinley game, they've got a team coming out of New York and New Jersey tonight over at Benson. I think that will be very close. I think McKinley's going to have to play a really, really solid game tonight to win that ball game. Green and Riverside tonight. I would think Green would be able to get that one. Jackson Fitch, to me, is probably going to be one of the bigger games. Now, it's over in Austintown. Fitch has a really, really good home field advantage there. But Jackson showed me a little something last weekend. Lucas Eckerman couldn't go because of an injury. And some guys, stepped up. Mullerman stepped up and some other guys stepped up. If this game was at Jackson, I'd probably go with the Bears. I still think Jackson might win, but I think that game could come down to a field goal, no doubt about it. West Branch and New Philly, I think the Warriors bounce back here. I think New Philly is down a little bit, and West Branch had just a very physical back and forth game with Canfield. Canfield hurt them though on special teams. That's why Canfield won that game. But I think West Branch wins tonight, probably by a couple of touchdowns, maybe a little bit more than that. Dover Maple Heights. That's almost kind of a toss up there. Maybe Dover is able to pull that one off. But and then there's a game not quite in our area. Indian Valley and Steubenville. And Steubenville just got rolled by Youngstown Ursuline last weekend. I don't think I've ever, and I'm sure it's happened, I don't ever recall seeing a Steubenville team get whipped like they got whipped by Ursuline last weekend. So I know Coach Reno and the Big Red want to get it back tonight. But Indian Valley, man, that's a solid football team, defending state champions in their division. So I don't know. I think Indian Valley I think Stubbe might start the year 0-2. I really do. It'll be interesting. So that's kind of some of the slate that's going on tonight. Canton Central Catholic also in action this evening. St. Thomas is in action this evening. So we'll be taking a look at a lot of these games and trying to figure out how they may end up by about 9:30, 10 o'clock tonight. We're going to take our first break here on the Sam Bourquin Show, again broadcasting live from the University of Mount Union, where tonight the Alliance Aviators will tangle with the Louisville Leopards. Pregame at 6:30, and we'll kick it off at 7 p.m. So we'll step out. 308211310 is our number, and we'll be back with more on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN, presented by AWP Safety.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Did you know that in Stark County there are over 750 active 4-H members? Hi, I'm Tanner Lebo. I raise market goats and pygmy goats. Through the 4-H program, kids have the opportunity to learn about science, agriculture, cooking, sewing, leadership, character, and so much more. You can help support the local 4-H program by making a donation or a purchase during the Stark County Junior Fair Livestock Sale starting August 27th through the 30th. Support your local 4-H and visit juniorfairauctions.com for more information.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below, you take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
AM 1310 WDPN. We are live here at the University of Mount Union inside the press box. My little Saturday home away from home part of September, October, November, maybe December this year. We're hoping that happens again. But welcome back, everybody. Today's show driven by AWP Safety. Shout out AWP Safety, proud sponsors of our Football Friday shows all season long here on AM 1310 WDPN. Lines are open 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. We got about 3 minutes until we get to the bottom of the hour, and the sun is really starting to cook here. It's really coming through. Another 15 or 20 minutes, I'll be able to put my shades on and just kind of sit back here a little bit and get a little tan here while we're doing the show. I'm hoping that our equipment though doesn't doesn't get too hot. So Rainsburg, if all of a sudden you hear a boop, 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 brr, you'll know that the equipment overheated, and we'll be in big trouble. So I might have to adjust our camera here a little bit because of the sun kind of getting on the equipment here a little bit.
If you have to do it, Sam, do it, Sam.
Or you know what I could do? But I don't want to. I could pull the shades down, but I don't want to do that because then I'm just like, nah. I want to see this. Like right now, I can look out. I can see the stadium, the track, all this stuff that's going on. I really don't want to. I really don't want to put that big blind down. But if I have to, I will. But I probably won't if that makes any sense. How was things back in the studio today? It was very quiet when I left to come over here to the stadium about an hour and a half ago.
Sam, it has only become more quiet. I think it's just Jeff, J-Dub, and I.
So just three of you. Wow. I bet it's real quiet back there, which is probably good. I would think.
We've got 3 men in one building, and we have to find a baby and get into misadventures.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Now remember, we won't be with you on Monday, Monday because of the Labor Day holiday. So we will be back live in studio next Tuesday, beginning at 3 on AM1310 WDPN all across all of your social media platforms. Speaking of news and weather coming up here in just a couple of seconds, and we get back, we'll come back and talk a little college football. We'll kind of review some of the games of last night. We'll look ahead to Texas and Ohio State, Clemson, LSU, Miami, Notre Dame, and of course TCU, Carolinas on Monday. I forgot about that one. That's the Monday night game. Coach Bill Belichick, his first game on the sideline as head coach of the Tar Heels at home. So that's going to be a lot of storylines there. We'll continue to play our high school games. Louisville Ohio game tonight, and I'm hoping we'll be able to catch up with Coach Goodman and some players. I'm not sure when the Alliance football team is coming over to the stadium. And since we're up here on the third floor, it might be a little difficult for me to get that accomplished. So we'll try our best to get Coach on and some of the players there before they get down to business tonight for this ball game against the Louisville Leopards. All right, we'll take a break. News and weather coming up here right now. AM1310 WDPN, the Sam Bourquin Show rolls on from the University of Mount Union.
Here's the latest news on AM1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. The ousted head of the CDC is still fighting after her firing. Dr. Susan Monares says the only person who can fire her is President Trump, and she still hasn't heard from him. But the White House says the president has fired her because she is not aligned with the mission set down by the president and Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Dr. Richard Besser, a former acting director of the CDC, says he spoke with Monares.
There were two lines. One is that she would never do anything that was illegal, and the other was that she would never do anything that flew in the face of science. And she was being asked to do both of those things.
Her lawyers say she refused to rubber stamp unscientific, reckless directives and fired dedicated health experts. A redistricting battle for partisan advantage in Congress could spread from Texas and California to other states. Texas Governor Greg Abbott today signed legislation creating a new U.S. House map, giving the GOP a chance to win as many as 5 more seats in next year's elections. In response to Texas, California Democrats are asking voters there to approve revised House districts that give Democrats a chance at winning 5 more seats. Officials in other states, including Missouri, Ohio, Indiana, Florida, New York, and Maryland, also are considering redrawing congressional districts to try to gain a partisan advantage. Former Vice President Kamala Harris has lost her Secret Service security detail. A copy of a memo reviewed by ABC News shows that Harris's detail will be revoked starting September 1st as she prepares to go on tour for her upcoming book. More from ABC's Karen Travers at the White House.
There's a traditional 6-month period that former vice presidents are given under law because of being a vice president. And then President Biden had extended that an additional 12 months for a total of 18 months. But the president is revoking that security detail effective September 1st. Vice President Harris is supposed to be going out on a very significant book tour in the coming weeks, very publicized in big cities. So now there are a lot of questions about what this new development will mean. for that tour.
On this big holiday getaway day, problems are growing for some traveling by air. Over 400 flights have been canceled in the U.S. today, and 2,200 more delayed, with the biggest problems at Dallas, Fort Worth, and in Austin, San Antonio, and Houston. Dallas and Houston are big hubs for American and United Airlines. The region has been hit by thunderstorms since Thursday night. American Airlines has the most canceled flights of any airline in the world today. It's 67 degrees, and Alliance at 3:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Forecast calling for chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, a high near 74 degrees, chance of rain 50%. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, clouds with a low around 52, chance of rain 40%, patchy fog early Friday, otherwise mostly sunny, a high near 68. Saturday, sunshine, a high of 72. More sun Sunday, a high of 75. That's your WDPN weather.
All right, we're back, 1310 WDPN, and unbelievable how this stuff gets so hot so fast. I mean, seriously. So we got the blind down, and we moved a couple things around, so we should be good to go here for the next several hours. Welcome back in, everybody, to the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. You can listen and watch on X, on our Facebook page, and, of course, the Q92 Radio page on YouTube as well. If you want to jump in, 330-821-1310. You can text at 330-924-7088. Louisville and Alliance is our featured ball game tonight at 7 o'clock. And, of course, we've got a bunch of games coming up all along the Q92 Radio Sports Network. I just looked at our monitor, and I look like a shadowy figure. And there's nothing I can do about it. So if you see a shadowy figure with headsets, that's me. I'm going to wave. See? How we doing?
I think if you, at the next break, crack those blinds a little bit, let a little bit more light in, I think we'll be good.
You think?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Well, let me see if I can do this while we're on the air.
Nice. It's easy enough. All right.
Is that a little better?
A little bit more.
Because now the sun's cooking the equipment again. I can't really take it up any higher.
Okay. Well, a little bit's better than nothing.
Gonna have to go with that. So that's me, the shadow man here, inside the studio. All right. So let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this Louisville Alliance ball game tonight. Both teams obviously come in 1-0, and one team was at home last weekend, and one team was on the road. The road team was the Aviators, and they went to Parma, Padua, and they won. And they did it in pretty convincing fashion. 25-3, kind of a weird score, but the two guys that Alliance is going to need to do everything and make the magic happen. Well, they were able to do that last weekend. Quarterback J.R. Jackson, a lot of you know him from the basketball floor, but he can play football too. He can play quarterback, and he can throw, he can run. And when he gets moving, man, good luck. Good luck trying to chase him. He threw for 244 last week. He ran for 99 in that win. So JR, and I assume most of the time he's in the shotgun. I don't know how much they go under center. But he is looking to throw first. He's looking to throw first. But if he has to run, he's gone. Okay? That's how good he is. Meanwhile, they've got a running back who can run like crazy, can catch the ball out of the backfield and make things happen, and that's Ravon Hawkins. And if these two were doing their thing, Alliance is going to be in good shape. He carried the ball last week. He had over 6 yards a carry. He ran for 121. And again, Alliance scored 25 in their opener. I think most coaches would take 25 points in an opener, especially when you're on the road. Now, they also have a couple of guys that can catch the ball and scoot. And Tajay Nicholson is one, and Jaron Blair is another. And they're both seniors. So this is not their first rodeo. Just last weekend, they had over 200 yards, almost 200 yards receiving against Parma Padua. Those 13 catches went for 200 yards. And so JR was throwing it, Ravana was running it, and Jaron and Tajay were catching it and scoring it. That was the recipe for success last weekend as the Aviators won that ball game on the road. Now, Louisville took out New Philly last weekend, 24-0, and this game was really never close. And I have been saying now for the last couple of weeks, I think this Louisville team, this is, I'm not calling for a state title, but what I'm telling you is, in Coach Kappas' third year, you can tell they are like they're feeling good about the program. There's not as much, okay, hey, guys, this is how we do things. This is what we expect. This is what we want you to do. They're already doing it. Now they're not teaching as much anymore. Now they're able to coach them up on both sides of the ball. And whether it's in practice, whether it's during a game, whether it's during a timeout, and you can see that they're getting better. And there's talent there. I truly believe in. I've been following football, Louisville football, for a long, long time, and they've always had talent. Some years they've had more than others, but this team's got some talent on it. I mean, Owen Burek and Luke Seaman, those are a couple names you want to listen for tonight. The quarterback situation, I think has worked itself out. Gabe Stauffer, Owen DiMarzio are going to be fantastic all year. And you look at the line, and tell me the last time Louisville had a 6'3", 285 on the defensive line, along with a 6'8", 315. And we're talking about Aiden Norris. He's the really, really, really big dude. And then the really big dude is Trevor Burek. But you're talking 315 and 285. And these guys aren't slow and pudgy. Okay? Trevor's 6'3", and Aiden is almost 6'8". So they can move. They got good footwork, and they're doing a terrific job so far. They really are. So that's the thing about tonight, is the Lions going to be able to get a push. Are they going to be able to move the Louisville line off so that Hawkins can get a running game going, or are they going to have to throw the ball? And then will Louisville just kind of pin their ears back and come after him? Linebacker Cam Doherty, going to have a really nice year. I talked about the secondary with Burek and Seaman. Real good in man-to-man. If they drop into a little zone, or if they drop back into a different formation, those guys they're absolutely going to make plays. The running game, I talked about Stouffer and Owen DiMarzio. I think they're gonna get things rolling too. I would not be surprised. I gotta grab Louisville's. I think I got it here. I'm gonna look at their schedule. Let's see here. After tonight, they've got Northwest, and then I believe we have their game at Marlington on September the 12th. That should be fun. And then Louisville will go to, they will host Hoover. They will go to Canton Central Catholic. Then we go to October. Ooh, how about this? Canfield coming to Louisville October 3rd. Leopards will go to Greene October the 10th. And then to round out the regular season, yikes, Cincinnati LaSalle is going to be coming up to Louisville on October the 17th, and then Worcester will be at the Leopard Lair on October the 24th. So, the old schedule game, if you will. I think I would say I would pick Louisville to win tonight. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I would pick them to win. So they would be 2-0. Then you got a pretty good rivalry game with Northwest, and then Louisville will finally be home there. Okay. So then they go to Marlington, Hoover. So I'm going to say win-win. Northwest, I don't know. Northwest hasn't played a game yet because they had that first week canceled, so we don't know what Coach DeMarco's team is going to look like. We saw Marlington last weekend starting a freshman quarterback, but they're going to get better. They got some players. The Hoover game will be tough, but that'll be at Louisville. At Central, I mean, Canfield could be a struggle. Green will be much better than they are by October the 10th. Listen, I mean, I think Louisville could win 6 games. I don't see any reason in the world that they can't win 6. And if they get hot or maybe get lucky some night, I would not be surprised if they could win 7. And I think that would put them in some sort of area as far as the postseason is concerned. Now, Alliance, after tonight, they will be at Streetsboro next Friday. We'll have that game here on AM 1310 WDPN, and I'll be doing my show live beginning at 3 from Streetsboro. Hopefully the sun doesn't barrel through the press box up there like it does here. Then they will go to Ellett on September the 12th. And then Alliance is going to be back home for 3 consecutive games. Canton Central Catholic, Salem, and Carrollton. And I believe we are doing at least 2 of those. I know we have the Central game, and I believe we have the Carrollton game. Then they go to West Branch, which is always fun. Minerva comes here. Then they go to Marlington, and we'll have that game as well. Week 10, October 24th here on AM 1310 WDPN. And if I'm looking at their schedule. Okay, you beat Padua, Louisville. I think they can get Streetsboro. I think they can get Ellett. I think they can get Central. I think they can get Minerva. So I mean, Alliance, I would peg them at I don't know, 5 maybe 6 wins this year. And if you win the right games, you obviously will have a chance to be in the postseason. Now remember, no longer is it 16 teams for the playoffs. Now it's 12. So you gotta grunt. You gotta work a little bit harder to get in the postseason this year. But I think both these teams are priced to have some really good years. I really believe that Louisville could win 6, maybe 7. I think Alliance should win 5, and with a little luck, maybe they can get 6. But we'll see what happens tonight. And we'll know about 9:30, quarter 10. We'll have a lot better feel because we don't know a lot about New Philly, and Louisville beat them 24-0. We don't know a lot about Parma Padua, and the Aviators took care of them 25-3 a week ago. So we'll know a lot more tonight. And then as we move along, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, you start to see some trends. You start to see some teams take over. You start to see some players really make a big jump as far as what they're doing in their season. And then the focus becomes much more clear once you get to about week 6, week 7. And then by then you pretty much know, okay, this team's got a shot to make a deep run, or this team it's not going to happen for them this year, and they'll have to come back and do it again next year. But I want to get your thoughts on a couple things tonight. 330-821-1310. What games are you going to tonight? And who do you expect? Okay, we'll go with week 5. Who do you expect by week 5 to maybe show us that they are in this for the long haul? And when I say long haul, I'm talking at least playing week 13. Okay, so that's winning week 11, winning week 12. maybe get into week 13. That's a couple of things I just kind of want to throw out there at 330-821-1310, or you can drop your comments on all of our social media platforms. But the first one, which games are you going to tonight? Where are you going? Who are you rooting for? And call in, give your team a shout out. You can let us know on social media. We'll shout them out for you. And then who do you think maybe by week 5 will have established themselves as a team or a couple of teams that's like, okay, this team is pretty legit? Or will we not know that by week 5? Like I said a couple of weeks ago, like North Canton Hoover is one of my dark horses for the county. And I said I wouldn't expect them to really be chugging until about week 7. I mean, maybe it'll happen before that. I don't know. But I think by week 7, if they are healthy, I think Hoover could be really, really good. Really good. They weren't getting a lot of talk. Now, I'm not trying to throw the big target on their back by any means, but I'm just saying that I really believe that Hoover is going to be a really good ball club. I really believe that. Let's take a break here. We're coming up on 10 minutes until the top of the hour. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310. The text line is open for you as well at 330-924-7088. I am the Shadow. I am the man in the press box here at the University of Mount Union. The sun was blasting in. It was cooking our equipment, so I had to pull the blinds down a little bit. So that's why I am the Shadow. And maybe it's all for the best. Maybe it's being rather kind to the camera here on our computer setup. Today's show, again, presented by AWP Safety. For if you're looking to just change your life a little bit, you want to go down a little different path, you're looking for some opportunities, AWP Safety right now is hiring flaggers. They offer paid training, certification, and advancement opportunities. Give you a little fresh start with what you're doing. Maybe you're not happy with what you're doing. AWP Safety can help you out. All you got to do to apply is get online. Visit jobs.awpsafety.com. That's jobs.awpsafety.com. And they will take it from there. Shout out to Drew and the crew at AWP Safety. We'll take a break and come back with more of the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Music and intelligence for your life.
No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room. Join me for Music and Intelligence for Your Life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
You heard it on the John Tesh Radio Show.
I want you to imagine for a moment you're in a hospital. You are the patient connected to an IV bag. There's a constant parade of serious doctors, countless tests, endless pokes, and a serious diagnosis. Scary surgeries are followed by painful recoveries. You're in the hospital for days, weeks, months. Now imagine experiencing all of these things and you're only a child. This is why Starlight exists, to bring happiness to hospitalized children through programs that help kids cope, build resilience, bolster confidence, and change their outlook. Programs like gaming, virtual reality headsets, toy deliveries, radio flyer wagons, and cozy hospital gowns are just a few of the ways Starlight eases a child's hospital stay. Because happiness matters. Visit starlight.org to learn more.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
All right, sounds like a little Michigan State there, a little Sparty, as we welcome you back here to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Don't forget, all of our social media platforms, you can watch and listen live on 1310 WDPN Facebook, on X, and, of course, the Q92 Radio page on YouTube. We've got about 7 minutes before we get you to the top of the hour. Phones are open at 330-821-1310. We're breaking down a little bit of the Alliance Louisville game for you, and some of the other ball games tonight. I'm gonna take a little look here at St. Vincent, St. Mary, and Perry, only because I watched Perry defeat Canton Central last Thursday. I believe it was 41-14. Pretty good game, 27-14 at one point, and then the Panthers put a couple on the board late to kind of run away there and win that one. I really like what Spencer Leno has done so far since taking over the football program. Since he got the job, the staff that he's come up with, I think he was able maybe to get a couple of more kids out of the halls to come out and play football, because they kind of changed the style a little bit. They've pretty much gotten rid of the wing tee. Matter of fact, I mean, I didn't see any remnants of the wing tee the game that I watched them play last Thursday. Now, I'm sure it's I don't know, man. I mean, they were running they were running split, they were running 3 wide, they were going shotgun. A couple of times in the second half, they were going hurry up, like the 2-minute offense kind of thing. This is a brand new thing, and I am so impressed what Spencer has done in a relatively, and I say a relatively short amount of time, because you got to come in, and this is your program. You got to change everything. You got to get your staff. You got to figure out who you're keeping from the previous staff. How many coaches is the administration going to let you bring in to be a part of your new staff? You've got to, you got to go in on the ground floor, and you're kind of starting over, because it's a new regime. It's a new day in Perry football. Everything's new. Philosophies, expectations, ways of doing things. Like I mentioned, maybe getting some kids to come out and play that haven't come out to play the last 3, 5, 8, 10 years. And there's a lot of work, and I know I'm pretty sure Coach Leno was burning the midnight oil. I'm pretty sure that he was working some 12, 14, 16-hour days just trying to get ready. And for the most part, they had a couple hiccups against Central and, gave up a couple of touchdowns and had some penalties. But for the most part, for a first game, under a new coach and a new staff and a new way of doing things, I thought they did really well. I really think they did well. And the fact that was week 1 on the road, again, not very far from Perry, but still it was on the road. My belief is that they will take a huge jump this weekend against St. Vincent St. Mary. And then they'll get in the film room and they'll say, okay, now we gotta take it up again. And we gotta take it up again. And we gotta take it up again. And here, I think this Perry team, along with Hoover, I think by week 7, I think they're going to be pretty good. I really think they're going to be pretty good. Because even though a lot of the schools now, they know or they hear that Perry is doing things a lot differently, until they line up and play them, it's going to be like, oh, well, they're probably still running the wing tee. They might be throwing the ball a little bit more, or they'll never abandon that kind of football there. It's going to be different now. It's going to be different. There's going to be some shell-shocked eyes from some of these teams that line up across from Perry when they're on defense, and they're saying, whoa, where did this come from? What is Coach Leno cooking up over here? And I think they may catch some teams not completely asleep at the switch, but I think there will be some teams that may try to revert the way they scout Perry. Going back and watching some of the old film, forget that. Forget that. Watching old Perry film is not going to help you now. Spencer Leno's doing things completely different over there. And you can tell the buy-in is there. The buy-in is there. The enthusiasm is there. I mean, that game last Thursday, Perry completely filled their stands last Thursday over at Central. And they got a home game against St. Vite tonight. I expect it to be packed again. And I expect Perry to win that game, and I expect Perry to win it big. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm onto something there with our friends over in the PTO. All right, we got the news and weather coming up here at the top of the hour. Jeff Mears will get us all caught up with the news and what's going on in your world. The weather forecast is going to be absolutely fantastic. You are going to love it. We are 1 hour in, 2 hours left to go. It's the Sam Bourquin Show presented by AWP Safety as we broadcast live from the home of the Purple Raiders and the home of the Alliance Aviators on the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN. Stay with us.
An important part of the Alliance community since 1953. You're listening to AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff meeting with the Ukrainian delegation today on ceasefire talks with Russia. It comes as Russia continues attacks targeting civilians, something President Trump says he's not happy about. Former defense analyst and ABC News contributor Mick Mulroy says France's leader now hinting President Trump is getting played by Putin and called for sanctions.
I understand why we want to be amenable diplomatically to both sides, but ultimately when you say there's going to be severe consequences to not agreeing to a ceasefire, and then you don't impose those severe consequences, our role will become less and less important, and will essentially not be a factor that Putin considers in this whole calculation.
The holiday getaway is on. More than 17 million expected to fly this Labor Day weekend, according to the TSA. Others will be driving with gas prices lower than last year. Stocks trading lower, heading into closing bell. This is ABC News.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. This news a service of Cars Auto Repair. 16 to 21 and a half years in prison is the punishment handed down to a man for a deadly Perry Township shooting. Stark County Common Pleas Judge Kristen Farmer sentenced 43-year-old Myron Johnson of Grafton, who pleaded guilty today to charges of voluntary manslaughter, felonious assault, and having weapons under disability. When the charges were filed in December, he was in a state prison for a parole violation. They stemmed from the July 2024 slaying of 57-year-old David Ward, who was found shot to death in his Lincoln Way East apartment. Johnson was originally charged with murder before taking a plea deal. He also was given 2 to 5 years probation. The live-in boyfriend of Ryan Godby has entered a not guilty plea to charges including murder. 34-year-old Daniel Mattei of Canton was arraigned today in Stark County Common Pleas Court, where his attorney entered a written plea for his client. Mattei was indicted on the charges Wednesday. He is scheduled to return to court for a pretrial hearing September 9th. The 26-year-old Godby was last seen leaving a nightclub on Cherry Avenue Northeast June 19th. Mattei is accused of beating and choking the Canton man the following day. Authorities have not found his body, nor have they discussed a motive. Mattei also is charged with attempting to escape the county jail July 3rd. A man is dead following a single vehicle crash in Sandy Township this morning. The Highway Patrol says 22-year-old Michael Weaver of Canton was northbound on Route 43 when his car went off the right side of the road and slammed into a tree just before 6 a.m. Bystanders pulled him from the vehicle after it caught fire near Indian Run Road. Weaver was transported to Altman Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The crash is under investigation. Stark County's jobless rate sees a small increase. July unemployment was 5.4%, up from June's figure of 5.1%. According to Ohio Job and Family Services, it was 4.7% in July 2024. Carroll County's unemployment increased to 5.3%, while Columbiana County's was unchanged at 5.6%. In Mahoning County, the jobless figure rose to 6%, and Portage County's increased to 5.4%. Unemployment across Ohio was up to 5%. A dispute over pizza at Hall of Fame Village. Bear Management, the owners of Pizza Oven Restaurants, says the Village reneged on a promise that it would be the only pizza supplier on the grounds. The Village says it did not violate the lease. The suit was filed in Stark County Common Pleas Court, asking a judge to terminate the lease. The restaurant opened in fall 2023. Bear Management says a deal was reached with third-party vendor AVI Food Systems, giving Pizza Oven exclusivity in the Village. AVI is no longer the vendor, and the suit says the Village has taken the position the exclusive supply agreement is unenforceable. Work has begun to replace a pedestrian bridge at Sippo Lake Trail. The span was destroyed by fire in March. A 40-year-old Canton man was charged with arson. According to Stark Parks, the project is expected to cost $54,500. The work will be done by Red Sun Construction of Wadsworth. The blaze destroyed the walking portion and railing over 150 feet between Exploration Gateway and the Sippo Marina. The repository reports money came from individuals and corporate donations. Work is expected to be complete in mid-September. A Columbiana man who allegedly broke into the home of 79th District State Representative Monica Robb Blaisdell remains jailed on $500,000 bond following his arraignment. 29-year-old Nathan Johnson appeared in Columbiana County Common Pleas Court, where he pleaded not guilty Thursday to charges including felonious assault, burglary, and robbery. He was indicted earlier this month. Johnson is accused of using a wooden chair to break through a glass door at the New Waterford home July 15th. He also is accused of fleeing after taking a cell phone from 7th District Appeals Court Judge and former State Representative Chuck Blaisdell, who also lives in the home. Investigators say the attack was not politically motivated. A federal judge has dismissed a Manaway police officer's lawsuit against the Portage County Sheriff's Office. Judge Bridget Meehan Brennan Wednesday tossed the case involving Miranda Brothers without prejudice, meaning it cannot be refiled. She cited non-compliance of court orders by Brothers and her attorney. A deputy reported Brothers left her 5-year-old child in the care of a known sexually oriented offender on New Year's Day 2024. She was placed on paid administrative leave. A charge of child endangering against Brothers was dismissed in July. She accused Sheriff Bruce Sukowski and arresting deputies of filing a complaint that contradicts sworn testimony of deputies who observed the child and continuing the case after deputies found no evidence to support the allegations. The Mahoning County Grand Jury has indicted a man for a shooting in Youngstown. 27-year-old Marquez Jones of Youngstown is charged with felonious assault, tampering with evidence, and failure to comply. On May 29th, he allegedly fired shots during an argument outside a West Judson Avenue home. His ex-girlfriend told police Jones had come to her mother's home where she lived and began arguing with her. She called her child's father for help, and Jones reportedly shot at him before leaving. He was later arrested on the city's east side after attempting to flee from police. Jones allegedly threw the gun into McKelvey Lake. A Youngstown man Thursday pleaded guilty to 6 counts of compelling prostitution. The plea by 36-year-old Larry Burgess means the dismissal of 2 counts of rape and several drug and weapons charges. Burgess was to stand trial September 29th for forcing at least 6 women into prostitution. He will be sentenced September 16th. Burgess also pleaded guilty to single counts of corrupting another with drugs and trafficking in cocaine. It's 68 degrees in Alliance at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News, a service of Cars Auto Repair. I'm Jeff Mears.
Since 1996, Kehers Auto Repair Service, Cars with a K, has been the trusted auto repair shop in Alliance. With over 80 years of experience in Stark and Mahoning County, their team provides high-quality auto care and customer service. They offer a range of services from preventative maintenance to engine repair, AC service, and more. The shop features 10 bays, state-of-the-art diagnostic tools, and mechanics ready to get your car on the road again. They accept all makes and models, ensuring top-notch service for every vehicle. Open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5 p.m. and Friday from 8 to 11 a.m. Schedule your appointment today by calling 330-821-3100.
This WDPN weather is brought to you by Canterbury Villa of Alliance, where your loved ones become family. Schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000.
Chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon with a high near 74 degrees. Chance of rain 50%. Overnight showers and thunderstorms, otherwise cloudy, a low near 52. Patchy fog early Friday, otherwise mostly sunny, a high 68. Sunshine Saturday, a high 72. More sun on Sunday with a high of 75. That's your WDPN weather.
Send your loved ones to a place that cares and a place that they can trust. They'll find a place that feels like home at Canterbury Villa in Alliance. They will provide the highest level of care to their residents when it comes to skilled nursing, rehabilitation, long-term care, and Alzheimer's care. At Canterbury Villa, your loved ones become family. Located on Freshley Avenue, schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000 and ask for Samantha Nutter. At Canterbury Villa, they walk the talk.
Live from the AM1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM1310 WDPN.
Welcome back, 1310 WDPN. It is the Sam Bourquin Show. We come to you live from the University of Mount Union. Today, it's the home of the Alliance Aviators, as the Flyers will take on the Louisville Leopards tonight here at 7. Our pregame begins at 6:30, and we will kick this baby off at 7. You can join myself and Caleb Norick tonight for all the play-by-play action of Louisville and Alliance. And want to shout out our good friends at AWP Safety. It is the AWP Safety Football Friday here on 1310 WDPN. Shout out to Drew and the crew with AWP Safety. Keeping you rolling. Keeping you rolling. AWP Safety. They do a terrific job. And if you're looking for maybe you want to take a little detour in life as far as what you're doing for work or for full-time, part-time, if you're looking to start something new, you want to have another opportunity, take this website down, jobs@awpsafety.com. jobs@awpsafety.com. They're hiring, paid training, certification, advancement opportunities, and so much more. Again, jobs@awpsafety.com. Check out that website. You'll be glad you did, and you can be on your way to doing something really, really super special here before you know it. Our phone lines are open at 330-821-1310. Text line is open at 330-924-7088. If you are watching on YouTube or our X page or our Facebook page, I am the man. I am the shadowy figure. I'm waving to you right here. We had to pull the blinds down here because of the way that the sun comes in and hits the press box here at the Larry Kehers Stadium, the Dom Capers press box, which, trust me, folks, it is beautiful. It is state of the art. But when the sun gets you between like 2:30 and 5:30, it really warms the equipment up a little bit, and it kind of makes it a little bit difficult for us. So that's why I will be the shadow here for a little while longer, because we can't afford to let the sun in. So that's why we've got that going. Yeah, go ahead.
The beauty of that press box is the huge windows that it has. They allow you to see the game incredibly well, but unfortunately, they let all of the sunlight in. So you're like sitting in a giant fishbowl that's got the sun pointed right at it.
Yeah, and we are. If you're on the field and you're facing the visiting press box, we are the last broadcast booth to the left. Now, it's a 3-story affair, so even though we are the last booth on the left, we are still at around the 40-yard line. So it's a great vantage point. We've got the big windows in front, and then I have a big giant window to my right where I can look out and I can see the bleachers from like the 30 all the way down to past the goal line. I can look out here as I'm doing. I don't know if you can see me looking out here or not. I can see some of the other dormitory rooms, some of the other buildings here on campus, and it's really a cool spot. You can watch. I mean, you can watch the kids kind of walking on their path, maybe to and from a class or going to their dorm. There's a chapel over here to my right, and then of course way down to the right you've got obviously the big scoreboard, and then once you go way back there is where Mount Union will come out to come on the field from their locker room. And then you've got the practice facility way over on the other side behind the visiting stands to the right. You got some other newer buildings that they've put up. They've really been cooking over here at Mount, putting up a lot of new buildings, halls, if you will, for teaching the students here. Obviously, they've made renovations here over the last several years. I understand they've got a brand new production system here now, and I assume that has to do with the video board and the audio and the PA set and all that stuff. So they've done that. The turf here, try to remember when they put this particular carpet down. I want to say this carpet's been here for about 6 years, maybe. So I'm sure they'll be looking to. Not right now, but within the next 4 to 5 years, probably, get a new turf put down, because they usually last about 10 to 12 years, and then you gotta put a new one down. But they've done a lot of stuff over here, enhancing. This is a beautiful, it's a beautiful campus, and it's spread out just enough to where it kind of gives you that big time university feel, if you will, but it's close enough to where, you're not trekking 8 miles to leave your dormitory and walk to class. You don't need to get on a bus and take it across town to go to a building to learn. So it's just big enough, but it's also just small enough. And obviously the faculty and the staff and the coaches and all the folks here on the board and everything have done such a great job. And they have progressed with the times here at the University of Mount Union. They've had to maybe move some certain majors off the board and brought in new ones. The kids want to come and study. Jazzing up the the classrooms with technology and keeping up with the times as we sit here in 2025. But it's a beautiful university. It's really a gem. We are so lucky just in this little bubble, and I will say, a 15-mile bubble. Like Mount Union is, oh gosh, I don't know. I don't even know if maybe 16 miles from my house. The radio station is about 17 and a half miles from my house. And to think that we have Mount Union, we have Walsh, we have Malone, we have Kent Stark. I mean, just in our little bubble here, and they're all great institutions. And you're going to get a great education, and you're going to be able to play sports, and you're going to be able to grow up and be a great young man or a great young lady, and go on to do some great things. And then you don't have to go much further up north. There's the University of Akron. You go a little bit northeast, you've got Kent State, and obviously the big one down in Columbus, which I think I don't know how many kids are there now, 60,000 or something like that between on campus and commuters. But we are so lucky. I say this all the time. And things have changed since when I came out of high school, and I was looking to make my decision where to go and what was around. And I looked at Mount, and I looked at Malone, and I looked at Walsh. I eventually ended up going to Walsh, but I mean, when I went to Walsh, there was no Washington Square, there was no McDonald's across the street, there was no Bell Store. I mean, there was nothing. There was nothing. And I know things have changed here at Mount Union. I mean, you figure State Street back when I was graduating back in '88, and then into the early '90s. I mean, look how different State Street, East State, West State has changed over here in Alliance over the last 35, 40 years. All the changes at Malone with Cleveland Avenue, and they put up different buildings and different halls and have added curriculum. And Walsh and Malone were both Walsh College. It was Malone College. Well, not anymore. It's it's Walsh University. It's Malone University. It's the University of Mount Union. It used to be Mount Union College. So, but these universities, they have stood the test of time, and they're doing a great job. I know, as far as I know, enrollment. I think enrollment is up everywhere across the board. I know a lot of the universities have had to build more dorms. Obviously, you've got your commuters, but you got the kids that want to stay on campus. They want to have that incredible college experience, and I applaud and shout out all of our universities and schools for just doing a great job and staying with the times. It's not easy to do, and how expensive things have gotten, and to renovate and do different things to create streams of revenue, to build buildings and to renovate stadiums and gymnasiums, and to keep bringing in the top of the line professors to come in and teach that curriculum. It takes money, and I know I'm preaching to the choir, because a lot of moms and dads are listening, grandparents, aunts and uncles. Tuition is not cheap anywhere. Tuition is not cheap anywhere. And sometimes you gotta find a way, whether it's getting a loan, getting a Pell Grant, getting multiple scholarships, and there's a lot of hard work there. But if you can do it and pull it off, and you can go to one of our great universities around, it's probably one of the best decisions that you'll ever make. But yeah, this is Mount's. It's beautiful here. And I love coming over here doing the games, and I love coming over here doing the games. When the Leafs start changing a little bit and doing games over here in the fall, it's beautiful. It really is. And I know it's like that all over, but it's one of the special things about being able to come over here and do Purple Raider football games now. We started my 10th year. Matter of fact, a week from tomorrow, I'll be here Saturday afternoon. Wheaton Thunder will be here to take on the Purple Raiders for a 1:00 kick, and we're looking forward to watching Coach Dart and the Purple Raiders again this year, and see if they can make a drive for the Stag Bowl again this year. And don't forget, the Amos Alonzo Stag Bowl this year is in Canton, Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. So we won't have to go far. But that's a long ways away, as the regular season hasn't started yet. It'll start a week from tomorrow. Phone lines are open here if you want to pop in. 330-821-1310. 330-821-1310. Doug is checking in. Sam, you've been a crazy day so far. Just turned you on a few minutes ago. I've been running around, had lunch. My son forgot a couple football-related items, had to drive to Navarre and do some pickups and do some drop-offs, and now he's back in the car and got us here on listening to us on 1310 WDPN. So, Dougie, we appreciate you checking in, and good luck to your Perry Panthers tonight, and good luck to your other ball club tonight, too. So, Chippewa. So, root for the Panthers and the Chips tonight at the Dougie household over there in the PTO. So we're just kind of getting rolling here from Mount Union. Later on tonight, don't forget, 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock kick, the Louisville Leopards and the Alliance Aviators, a battle of 1-0 teams here tonight on AM 1310 WDPN. Caleb Norick will join me for the play-by-play tonight, and I think we're going to have a really good football game. Temperatures are going to be in the low 60s, upper 50s by tonight. So if you're coming out to the ball game, bring maybe a little light jacket, and you should be fine. Hardly any wind right now. That could change a little bit later, but right now it's perfect.
Sam,
go ahead.
The sky behind you says it all. It is a beautiful day out there.
Yeah, right. You can see. Okay. Right.
The perfect ratio of like cloud to sky right now.
Yeah, it's perfect, and that's what it's going to be until kickoff, and then when sun goes down about, gee whiz, sun's going down about what, 8:15 now, 8:18, something like that.
Oh so, man, it's got to be earlier than that at this point, right?
Oh, you're depressing me. Oh, hey, you know what's coming pretty soon? It's stupid time change, and that's when I just want to crawl. I want to crawl under a curtain, and I don't want. I can't. You are going to have to put up with me when it starts getting dark at like 4:40 in the afternoon. You're going to have to watch over me because it hits me hard.
Happier when it's like that.
It hits me hard, man. I just can't take it. But yeah, if you're watching us on the stream, on YouTube, on Facebook, on X, I am the shadow here, and you can look behind me and you can see that window with the beautiful blue sky and the beautiful white puffy clouds. It does not get any better than this. We'll take a break and we'll come back with more here on the Sam Bourquin Show, right here from Larry Kehres Stadium on the campus of the University of Mount Union. It's 1310 WDPN. We'll be right back.
When something happens to your car, you might say,
"Ugh, come on.
Seriously?
This is so extra."
But what you could say is,
like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your local State Farm agent is available when and where you need them, online, over the phone, or even in person. State Farm agents are here to answer your questions and help you file your claim.
This is so extra.
Get someone who can actually help. Contact State Farm agent Rich Plack today.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
I think we can all agree. Over the last few years, things have gotten weird.
Weird, confusing, and at times, pretty scary.
And for our kids, these things can be overwhelmingly stressful.
and can increase the risk for mental health problems as they grow.
But there's so much hope.
Scientific research and real-life experience
tell us that the number one antidote to stress is authentic, trusted relationships.
So that's why I.
That's why I.
That's why we.
That's why I am committed to building and maintaining a trusted space.
For the students I influence every single day.
Until schools across the country
can proudly call ourselves a trusted space. This is a trusted space.
This is a trusted space.
This is a trusted space.
This is a trusted space.
This is a trusted space.
Access free films and resources to build trusted spaces in your schools and communities at atrustedspace.org.
Oh, it was not a good night for the University of Akron Zips last night. Holy tamale. They lost to the Wyoming Cowboys 10-0 last night up at InfoCision Stadium. The Zips didn't even score. 0-1. They just can't get out of their own way. They can't get out of their own way. I don't understand it. It doesn't matter who coaches. It's I don't know. I don't know why I get so bent out of shape about it. But it's like you get that beautiful 28,000 seat stadium up there. Nobody goes to the games. The parking is an absolute joke. And they just can't win. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who they bring in. It just doesn't matter. I mean, they haven't been to since Terry Bowden was there. They haven't been to a bowl game. I mean, you got to go back to when they won the MAC championship at Ford Field. And gosh, how I was there that year I was there for the MAC championship game when they beat Northern Illinois on that miracle from Luke Getsy to, I believe it was Dominic Hickson. And then they won the MAC championship game, and they went back and they played the Motor City Bowl. And I went to that at Ford Field, and they played Memphis. And Memphis had this running back by the name of John Avery, who just ran wild on Akron. And Akron dug an incredible hole. But doggone it, they came fighting back. It was J.D. Brookhart was the head coach. And they came back, and they almost won that game. I still think Akron got jobbed by the officials in that game when the Zips scored a late touchdown, and there was like a minute to go, and they recovered the onside kick. And the officials stepped in, and I think they threw a penalty for offsides or some nonsense. And Memphis got the ball. They took a couple of knees, and they ran the game out. Let me tell you how far the University of Akron football program has fallen. That particular day, the Motor City Bowl in Detroit, Michigan, Akron and Memphis, 51,000 people were at that game. 51,000 people to watch Akron and Memphis. And folks, I don't know if I have ever seen that many Akron Zips football fans at a football game in my life. They took over Ford Field that day. It was a blast. We had a ball. Akron didn't win the game, but it was something, man, to see all those people up there. And gosh, the football program was just, I mean, Lee Owens did a really nice job with them. J.D. Brookhart, a couple of nice years. Terry Bowden had a couple of nice years, but oh my gosh, Rob Iannello and and I don't know about the guy up there now. I don't know about Joe Moorhead now. But we'll see. But the Zips fall last night by the score of 10-0. They are 0-1 on the season. Kent trying to stop their losing streak. They will play Merrimack this weekend at Dick Stadium at Kent State University. All right, I have gone way over. We have to take a break. News and weather coming up next here on the Sam Bourquin Show. It's an AWP Safety Football Friday on 1310 WDPN.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. The Trump administration has tapped a replacement for the head of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Jim O'Neill. The man named as interim director served in the Department of Health and Human Services during President George W. Bush. This comes after mass walkouts at the CDC to protest the firing of Susan Bonarez, who was confirmed by Republicans earlier this year. ABC News has learned she disagreed with Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. over changes to the policy for the COVID-19 vaccine. More from ABC's Karen Travers at the White House.
The White House says the president has the authority to fire her. He does. But Manara's team or lawyers say that they have not heard directly from the president on this, and she is not resigning. But it's important to note, she's not on the job. She doesn't have access to the building. She doesn't have access to her email. But this is a kind of a public standoff with the president to point out her protest of what she says was a pressure campaign from Secretary Kennedy over vaccine policy changes.
No decision today following a hearing over the future of the Federal Reserve. Fed Board Governor Lisa Cook is suing to block President Trump from firing her, calling it unlawful. In a court filing, the president argues the allegations Cook committed mortgage fraud is more than sufficient ground for removing a senior financial regulator from office. Judge Cobb, who is presiding over the case, has asked for briefings on Tuesday. Cook's attorneys had sought a swift decision on the issue of what happens while the case plays out. They want her to remain on the board unchanged with access to her office, including in meetings and responding to emails. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has signed a bill redrawing the state's congressional maps into law. Abbott shared a video on social media today showing him signing the measure.
I want to thank Lieutenant Governor Patrick, Speaker Burrows, Senator King, Representative Todd Hunter, Representative Cody Vasut, and all of the legislature who stayed in the Capitol and got this law to my desk.
Experts say new congressional district maps could allow Republicans to flip up to 5 seats in the 2026 midterm elections. Democrats and voting rights groups are challenging the new maps in court. The Gaza Health Ministry says the death toll in Gaza has surpassed 63,000 as Palestinians face the start of Israel's expanded offensive in Gaza City. The count does not distinguish between fighters and civilians killed in the 22-month war between Israel and Hamas. The ministry says 5 people have died from malnutrition-related causes over the past day, raising the total to 322, including 121 children since the war began. A military official says Israel intends to continue helping aid reach Gaza City during the offensive, but a UN humanitarian group fears a horrific impact on people already deprived of basic needs. It's 67 degrees in Alliance at 4:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
This afternoon's forecast calling for a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Increasing clouds, a high near 74, chance of rain 50%. Showers and thunderstorms continuing overnight, a low around 52. Friday, patchy fog early, otherwise mostly sunny, a high of 68. Sunny Saturday, a high near 72. Sunny Sunday, a high near 75. That's your WDPN weather.
Boy, when I hear this, I think of NFL prime time on ESPN with Chris Berman, Tom Jackson. I can see it as clear right now. I can see him sitting there in the studio, and the highlights are rolling. They got the music bed playing over, and Berman and TJ are doing their thing. Man, that's when it was really good. That's when it was really good. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. It is an AWP Safety Football Friday here on 1310 WDPN. Shout out to Drew and the crew at AWP Safety. We think we got a good ball game tonight for you. Really do. Louisville and Alliance will kick at 7 tonight. Pregame begins at 6:30. Caleb Norick will join me for that here on AM 1310 WDPN. And don't forget, You can also listen to the ball game tonight on our AM1310 WDPN Facebook page, our X page. Real simple. Just go on X, go on Facebook, and just type in AM1310. Boom. Take you right there. You can listen to the game. You can also watch and listen on the AM1310 WDPN. You can also do it on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel, YouTube page, radio page on YouTube. My God, it shouldn't be that difficult, and it's not. Trust me, it's so easy. You can watch, you can comment along with the game while it's going on. We'll try to interact with you during the ball game. It's a lot of fun. So make sure you're dialed in tonight. Pregame at 6:30, kick at 7. Louisville Alliance. If you're not coming over, and we hope to see you, I'd love to see this place packed tonight. I really would. The weather is going to be phenomenal. You can see behind me right now. Take a look at that. Beautiful blue skies, nice white puffy clouds. We got the sunshine is out. Very, very, very minimal breeze. It's going to be a great night to come out and watch some football. So if you're in the area, come on by. If you can't make it, we got you covered here on 1310 WDPN. Again, our schedule tonight for the Q92 Radio Sports Network tonight, you've got Medina Hoover on Q92 Radio. That's at 7. Then on the Q92 Sports Network tonight, these games will all be on the live stream. New Philadelphia at West Branch. Not too far from here. Jackson at Austintown Fitch. CVCA at Canton South. St. Vincent St. Mary at Perry. And Lake will take on Boardman. Just a quick reminder, the McKinley game tonight against St. Augustine, New York, that game will not start tonight until 8 p.m. Okay? The Bulldogs tonight at Benson, they will kick off at 8 o'clock tonight. So make sure you keep that in mind if you happen to be maybe heading over there for that. There was a little story today. I saw it on the Rep and a couple of other local news outlets. Some more stuff going on over at the Hall of Fame Village, and it looks like the pizza oven is going to try to get their lease terminated by a judge. I guess there was a disagreement, maybe a breach in a contract, exclusivity of some kind, and it looks like the pizza oven is trying to get out of their spot at the Hall of Fame Village. And man, I'll tell you, they're going through some tough times over there. And I hope things get turned around. I hope that things start getting built. I hope that the revenue is going to be coming in to pay the folks to get these jobs. Heck, to get pay some of the folks that haven't been paid yet, because I know that's an issue. And it's not a small ticket. Trust me, from what I've been hearing, there's a lot of money owed on some stuff over there. And now that the fact that maybe you could lose one of your tenants, the pizza oven, that's not good. And I wonder, I don't want to go too deep into this because we're here for high school football, but I'm hoping that the places that are over there are going to be able to make it, that they're going to be able to survive until hopefully someday soon everything that was promised to get built and everything that was told to us that was going to happen will finally happen. Because I know some of the businesses over there are really going on rough times right now because the crowds just haven't been there. The traffic has not been there. So I'm hoping. It looks so good on the blueprints. It really does. And I'm hoping they can. I don't know. I don't have the answer. If I had an answer, my gosh, I would scream it from the mountaintops right now, but I don't. I know the answer is money. And there may be some other stuff going on, but I just hope and pray that they can get that done because I think that the people of Canton, the city of Canton, the people in Stark County, there's been a lot of there's been a lot of lip service going on and some promises made and promises not kept. And I think I know people are frustrated. I talk to them every day, whether it's in person. I see comments on social media. Some people take it to an extreme, but there's a lot of people that are upset, a lot of people that are angry, and I don't blame them, to be honest with you. So I'm hoping that they can get this thing turned around, that Village can get up and be rolling and prosper and be that great big destination that they were hoping it would become by this time. So just hoping they can get it done over there at the Hall of Fame Village. Just a little commentary there on 1310 WDPN from yours truly. All right, college football. Saturday, tomorrow at noon, the Ohio State Buckeyes are going to tangle with the Texas Longhorns. That's a nooner at the shoe. Right now, Texas is +1. Texas is +1. The line has been moving today. It's been very active today. I'm not sure what's going on here. They expect a lot of money to come in tomorrow, right before kickoff, which is going to be at noon. Now, this game has been bet pretty heavily, and obviously, with the number 1 team going against the number 3 team, obviously there's going to be a lot of action on this game. I still think, and I sit here today. What time is it? 4:42, something like that. Sitting here today, I still think Texas will win. I'm still picking them to win. Now, will I get all caught up and everything by noon tomorrow after watching some of the pregame and seeing the stuff going on at the Horseshoe and my scarlet and gray glasses? Will they come on? They might. It won't be the first time. But I can sit here and tell you now that I think Texas is going to win. But the point spread has been on the move all week, and this is courtesy of ESPN Bet. The Buckeyes, remember, opened as a 3-point favorite. They put this game on the books months ago. Like, you could bet on this game 2.5, 3.5 months ago. But the sportsbook have been they've been talking about a steady stream of money on the Longhorns throughout the entire summer, and now here lately, and now the line is down. Texas is a 1.5 point favorite. So Buckeyes went from a 3-point favorite to a 1.5 point underdog. Folks, that's a lot of money. That's a huge amount of money coming in on Texas. You know what they say. When the public hammers one team, you go the other way. And if you've been around long enough to the sports betting, to the gambling, maybe when you were, I don't know, in your late teens, early 20s, and maybe now you're 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 right now, but you still love it. You still get that itch. You love that rush of the betting on the games and trying to, get a little change. What do they always say? The house always wins, right? So when you see a line jump 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 points, all that money going on one team, what do they always say? Go the other way. The public's going hard on one team, go the other way. I was like, why is that? Because that's usually how it ended up. So the more money that comes in on the one team, the house wins. So obviously you want to go the other way, right? I mean, it's almost a tried and true way to do things. And you shouldn't be really surprised at how those numbers have taken a turn over the decades, especially in the pros. College, not as much, but the NFL, holy smokes. Circa, sportsbook known to cater to the professional bettors. They call them the Sharps. They've seen a lot of interest on the Longhorns to move them to a 1-point favorite. Derek Stevens, he is the owner of Circa, said that a $550,000 bet on Texas moved the line to Texas -1. Who just dropped over $500,000 on Texas? I wonder who that was. Was it Floyd Mayweather? Was it Charles? Was it Charles Barkley? Who was it? This is interesting. Buckeyes have not been a home underdog since 2018. That was against Michigan. They have been favored by more than 3 points at Ohio Stadium only once since 2012. Now, if the line closes with the Buckeyes as the favorite, Texas would become the first team ranked #1 in the country, the preseason top 25, to be an underdog in their first game. Ed Salmons, he is a veteran football odds maker for Westgate Sportsbook. He says that, quote, the perception is that Texas is the more experienced team. Arch Manning is considered a much better quarterback than Julian Sayin. Both are such unknowns nobody really knows. Now, see here? Now I'm getting... I've been saying Texas, 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 Texas. But you had all that money come in on one side. That might be enough to change my mind. Just because of the number alone. And I hate when I get influenced like that. But the numbers and the hotels don't lie. Folks, they don't lie. And it's been that way. It's been that way forever. I want to know who dropped $550,000 on Texas. I want to know. Anybody know? Billy Walter? Did he? No, I don't know. I just wonder. I wonder what's going on there. Also this weekend, #6 Notre Dame at #10 Miami. Now that's a Sunday night game. That's at 7:30. That's on ABC. The Irish are a 2.5-point favorite. The total is 49.5. Now remember, Notre Dame was just at the Hard Rock Stadium about 7.5 months ago. They beat Penn State in the Orange Bowl to make it to the national championship game. So Miami's got a lot of turnover at receiver. First game for Carson Beck. Remember Carson Beck, the former Georgia quarterback? He is now starting for Miami. Now he had an elbow injury, but the recovery from that has limited his practice time in the spring. So he's not really been able to get after it, starting in like the middle of July. I like Miami here. And I know Carson Beck is coming off that injury. I like Miami at home against Notre Dame. I do. We'll see. That should be a good game. #7 LSU at #4 Clemson. That's going to be a good one. LSU catching. What are they doing here? They're catching 4, total 57.5. Brian Kelly, you better have a good year. The pressure's on down there in the Bayou. Now, LSU has got one of the toughest schedules in the country. So they could lose to Clemson and still come out okay. Remember, they got Garrett Nussmeier. He replaces the Jaden Daniels. So they're going to be okay at quarterback. Now, Clemson has been getting a lot of run. Remember, Dabo's the guy. He doesn't want to go in the portal. He doesn't really love this NIL thing. Now, they got in the portal a little bit this year because he knows you just have to. You just can't strictly build your football program with recruiting high school kids anymore. It's just, I hate that, but that's just the way it is. Clemson, the #1 preseason, according to a couple of publications. And with their schedule, man, they could do it. Cade Klubnik, the quarterback, he could maybe take a run at the Heisman. That's going to be a fun game. LSU Clemson, that's Saturday night at 7:30. Saturday at 3:30, Alabama, Florida State. These are the big games this weekend. Alabama -13.5. The total is 51. I don't see Alabama having any trouble here. They're starting a new quarterback, Ty Simpson. He's been a backup there for like 3 years. So he's finally getting his chance. He backed up Jalen Milroe. This is another year for Coach DeBoer at Alabama. I think Alabama wins this thing over Florida State. I don't know if they win by 2 touchdowns, but I think they will. I think they will win there. Just not impressed with what Florida State's done the last couple of years. Remember they had that run to go maybe to the Natty. They had that undefeated season. Then they had that rash of injuries, and it fell apart on them. And they haven't been the same since. They really haven't. And then Monday night at 8:00, I'm anxious to watch this. North Carolina with Bill Belichick on the sidelines hosting a pretty good TCU team. So here comes Billy. He's a 6-time Super Bowl champ. Obviously, all the talk about his girlfriend and all that crazy stuff going on, this stuff on Instagram and X and all the stories and the interviews, 60 minutes, I mean, all that stuff going on. But that's kind of quieted down a lot. You know, since they started practicing, it's really gotten quiet. So I think they've been able to tune out a lot of that noise. I think they're going to be pretty good, Carolina. I just want to see what Bill does at the college game. He's going to go with a transfer quarterback, by the way, coming from South Alabama. His name is Gio Lopez. Threw for 25 touchdowns last year and over 3,000 yards. He actually won the job over Max Johnson, who was a former starter at LSU and Texas A&M. Now, they say TCU is a big sleeper in the Big 12 after they won their last 4 games last year to finish 9-4. But that was last year. I can't wait to watch Bill Belichick. I can't wait to see him in Carolina blue on the sidelines at Kehers Stadium at Chapel Hill coming up this weekend. That'll be fun. Tonight, Auburn-Baylor. That's a Fox game. Georgia Tech-Colorado. That's an ESPN game. Those are pretty good. Utah-UCLA is going to be a fun game Saturday night. Syracuse-Tennessee should be good. So there's some good ball games. Of course, we'll be watching Ohio State and Texas on Saturday at noon. Of course, that'll be on Fox. Akron got shut out last night. Kent will play this weekend against Merrimack, and then the mighty Mount Union Purple Raiders a week from tomorrow, right here at Larry Kehres Stadium. We'll welcome in the Thunder of Wheaton, and we'll have that one for you on 1310 WDPN. That's a 1 o'clock kickoff. We'll talk to you about 12:45 a week from this Saturday. We'll take a break here on the Sam Bourquin Show, powered up by AWP Safety on this Football Friday. Phone lines are open if you want to jump in. We'd love to hear from you. 330-821-1310, and you can text us at 330-924-708. Back with more from the University of Mount Union. It's the Sam Bourquin Show on 1310.
There's exciting high school football this Friday night right here on AM 1310. Join Sam Bourquin as he calls the play-by-play action as the Louisville Leopards take on the Alliance Aviators. Hear it all live here on AM 1310. Kickoff at 7 p.m. this Friday. Louisville and Alliance in high school football.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
In classrooms across the country, chronic absenteeism is on the rise.
Sophia A., grade 4, absent.
Julio M., grade 6, absent.
Aisha S., grade 12, absent.
These absences are often due to the absence of crucial needs, like transportation, healthcare, a working computer, mental health support, The list goes on.
Olivia H. absent.
Preston L. absent.
Chloe B. absent.
The reasons why they're absent are very real, and yet the solution is someone present to help them along their path. When site coordinators from communities and schools are on hand, they connect kids to the resources they need. And when they do, 99% of students are present and remain in school throughout the year.
Jacob O., grade 10.
Present.
Communities and Schools works directly with students, helping them overcome obstacles to succeed in school and in life. Learn more at communitiesinschools.org. Being present matters.
I believe that's the University of Mount Union fight song. Am I right on that, Rainsburg?
You are correct, sir.
I thought so. I put about 12 songs. Well, I sent them over to Rainsburg last night, and he put them in the system today. We put about 12 of the college fight songs in. We got about 12 or 13 of the NFL films and music. So we'll continue to build that library as we move on. And I'm like, okay, I got to get Ohio State, got to get Notre Dame. I wanted to get one of the service academies, so I put the Navy. I put the Navy fight song in there. I think I did Florida State. I think I put in USC, Michigan State, Texas. I think I put in Georgia. I think I put Florida and maybe a couple of other ones. I'm like, I got to get Mount Union in there. So I'm just kind of scrolling around on YouTube, and I found about a 55-second cut of the Mount Union fight song. And I'm like, oh, yeah, we're going to throw that in there. So that was good to hear that. Welcome back to the show, everybody. We come to you live from the University of Mount Union here. Tonight is the home of the Alliance Aviators, as Coach Goodman's Aviators take on Coach Kappa's Louisville Leopards. Our pregame begins at 6:30 tonight, and the kick at 7 right here on AM 1310 WDPN. And just like you listen to our show, Monday through Friday, whether it's on the radio, 1310, you can listen to us on the WDPN Facebook page. You can listen to us on the WDPN X page or Twitter, however you want to refer to it. You can listen and watch on the video on the Q92 Radio page on YouTube. You can listen to the game tonight the exact same way that you're listening to me right now. And we just we try to make it as easy as possible for you. And between the radio and all the streams and all the social media platforms, you can catch the ball game tonight. So we'll have it for you, 1310 WDPN, and on all the social media platforms tonight as well. All right. Nobody is here yet as far as the teams go. Alliance is not here, and Louisville is not here. So I'm hoping we can get Coach Goodman on, but that might be a tough ask because we're less than 2 hours away from kickoff. But we'll see what we can stir up. I'm going to take a little walk down the hall up here and see what's going on here. All right, we will take a break. We got 2 hours in, one more big hour to go. It is an AWP Safety Football Friday. It's the Sam Bourquin Show, and it's right here on AM 1310 WDPN. Stay with us.
News, weather, sports, local information, and music 24 hours a day. This is AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
In Minneapolis, police continuing to search for a motive in this week's shooting at Annunciation Catholic School. 2 children, ages 8 and 10, were killed in the church during Mass, 18 others injured. The community working to help students and parents feel safe as public school year begins. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry.
In the coming week, we know there will be a lot of difficult emotions due to school starting on Monday for Minneapolis kids, and we will be there. Our safety teams will support, and we'll make sure that families both are safe and that they feel safe.
Israeli forces say they've recovered the bodies of 2 Hamas-held hostages in Gaza. It comes as the IDF makes a push to occupy in and around Gaza City, where a UN-backed organization says there are signs of famine. Storms on the march after heavy rains in Texas last night. That could lead to more delays at airports as millions of travelers take to the skies and others drive this Labor Day holiday weekend. This is ABC News.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in a parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
If your end of summer plans don't include a trip to Macy's, then you're missing out because our Labor Day sale has huge savings to wrap up the season in style. Like dresses from Karl Lagerfeld and INC, 100 and under. Plus, just what you need for fall. Like Levi's for your whole crew, 30 to 40% off. It's also the best time to update your home with our lowest prices of the season on furniture, mattresses, and more. Hurry in. Macy's Labor Day sale is going on now. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02. A man is headed to prison for a fatal shooting in Perry Township. 43-year-old Myron Johnson of Grafton was sentenced today by Stark County Common Pleas Judge Kristen Farmer to 16 to 21 and a half years behind bars. He was also given 2 to 5 years probation. Johnson pleaded guilty to charges of voluntary manslaughter, felonious assault, and having weapons under disability. He was initially charged with murder in the slaying of 57-year-old David Ward, but took a plea deal. Ward was found shot to death in his Lincoln Way East apartment in July 2024. When charges were filed in December, Johnson was in a state prison for a parole violation. A Canton man has pleaded not guilty to charges of killing his live-in boyfriend. An attorney for 34-year-old Daniel Mattei entered the written plea today during his client's arraignment in Stark County Common Pleas Court. Mattei was indicted Wednesday on charges including murder stemming from the slaying of Ryan Godby of Canton. He disappeared after leaving a nightclub on Cherry Avenue Northeast June 19th. Mattei allegedly beat and choked him the following day. Godby's body has not been found. Police haven't released a motive. Mattei is scheduled to return to court September 9th for a pre-trial hearing. The Highway Patrol is investigating a single vehicle crash in Sandy Township that took a man's life. It happened just before 6 a.m. today on Route 43. 22-year-old Michael Weaver of Canton was northbound when his car went off the right side of the road, struck a tree, and caught fire near Indian Run Road. Bystanders pulled him from the vehicle. Weaver was taken to Alton Hospital where he died of his injuries. Stark County's jobless rate sees a small increase. July unemployment was 5.4%, up from June's figure of 5.1%. According to Ohio Job and Family Services, it was 4.7% in July 2024. Carroll County's unemployment increased to 5.3%, while Columbiana County's was unchanged at 5.6%. In Mahoning County, the jobless figure rose to 6%, and Portage County's increased to 5.4%. Unemployment across Ohio was up to 5%. The Hall of Fame Village and the owners of Pizza Oven restaurants are dueling in court. Bear Management, which owns the restaurants, says it has exclusive rights to sell pizza in the village and says the village reneged on that promise. Bear Management says a deal was reached with third-party vendor AVI Food Systems, giving Pizza Oven exclusivity in the village. AVI is no longer the vendor, and the suit says the village has taken the position the exclusive supply agreement is unenforceable. The suit was filed in Stark County Common Pleas Court, asking a judge to terminate the lease. The restaurant opened in fall 2023. Work to replace a pedestrian bridge at Sippo Lake Trail is expected to be complete in mid-September. Stark Parks says the project will cost about $54,500. The repository reports money came from individual and corporate donations. A 40-year-old Canton man was charged with arson for setting a fire in March, which destroyed the walking portion and railing over 150 feet between Exploration Gateway and the Sippo Marina. The work will be done by Red Sun Construction of Wadsworth. Nimishillen Township trustees purchased personal protective fire gear Thursday. WDPN's David Schur reports.
Using $14,667 of grant funds from the State of Ohio Fire Marshal, trustees approved Fire Chief Adam Gladys's request to get 4 sets of personal protective fire gear from Municipal Emergency Services of Warren, Ohio, for $18,555. Trustees also approved $16,580 purchase of asphalt from Allied Corporation. 3 quotes for a road and maintenance office's security system were discussed and tabled for further study. And they declared 5122 Glen Oak Avenue as a nuisance due to high weeds, grass, debris, and an unregistered vehicle.
A man who is a chaplain at Alliance Community Hospital has pleaded not guilty to 85 counts of pandering obscenity involving a minor. The plea was entered Thursday in Columbiana County Common Pleas Court by the attorney for 37-year-old Joseph Sabella of Knox Township. He appeared for his arraignment. A pretrial hearing is scheduled for September 19th. Sabella was indicted earlier this month. The Mahoning Valley Human Trafficking Task Force arrested him at his Stanley Drive home July 2nd. A search reportedly revealed thousands of images of children taking part in sex acts or in states of nudity. Sabella is on paid leave. A man indicted for allegedly breaking into the home of 79th District State Representative Monica Robb Blaisdell has pleaded not guilty. 29-year-old Nathan Johnson of Columbiana appeared Thursday in Columbiana County Common Pleas Court for his arraignment. The indictment includes charges of burglary, felonious assault, and robbery in connection with the July 15th incident in New Waterford. Johnson allegedly used a wooden chair to break through a glass door and fled after taking a cell phone from another resident. 7th District Appeals Court Judge and former State Representative Chuck Blaisdell. Investigators say the attack was not politically motivated. Johnson remains jailed on $500,000 bond. A lawsuit filed against the Portage County Sheriff's Office by a Manaway police officer has been tossed out of court. The suit was brought by Miranda Brothers. In Wednesday's dismissal, federal judge Bridget Meehan Brennan cited non-compliance of court orders by Brothers and her attorney. The case was dropped without prejudice, meaning it cannot be refiled. A deputy reported Brothers left her 5-year-old child in the care of a known sexually oriented offender at a village apartment on New Year's Day 2024. She was placed on paid administrative leave. Brothers accused Sheriff Bruce Zukowski and arresting deputies of filing a complaint that contradicts sworn testimony of deputies who observed the child and continuing the case after deputies found no evidence to support the allegations. A child endangering charge was dismissed in July. Sentencing will be September 16th for a Youngstown man who admitted forcing at least 6 women into prostitution. 36-year-old Larry Burgess pleaded guilty to compelling prostitution, corrupting another with drugs, and trafficking in cocaine. Burgess was to go on trial September 29th. His guilty plea meant the dismissal of 2 counts of rape and several drug and weapons charges. A Youngstown man accused in a shooting in the city has been formally charged with the crime. The Mahoning County grand jury indicted 27-year-old Marquez Jones. He's charged with felonious assault, tampering with evidence, and failure to comply. Jones is accused of firing shots during an argument outside a West Judson Avenue home May 29th. Police said his ex-girlfriend stated Jones had come to her mother's home where she lived and began arguing with her. Jones allegedly shot at the father of the woman's child after the man responded to her call for help. He also is accused of throwing the gun into McKelvey Lake. Jones was later arrested on the city's east side after attempting to flee from police. This week's school shooting in Minneapolis has brought action from the Youngstown Catholic Diocese. Bishop David Bonar Thursday announced a task force to address safety and security issues. 2 children were killed and 17 others injured in Wednesday's incident. According to WFMJ-TV, Bonar says the diocese already has emergency plans in place, with schools conducting emergency drills and starting on-site safety inspections last year to make sure best practices were followed. Taking a look at Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed today at 45,544, down 92 points. The Nasdaq Composite fell 250 points, ending at 21,455, and the S&P 500 closed at 6,460, down 42 points. It's 68 degrees in Alliance at 5:09. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Forecast calling for a chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, a high near 74 degrees, chance of rain 50%. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, clouds with a low around 52, chance of rain 40%, patchy fog early Friday, otherwise mostly sunny, a high near 68. Saturday, sunshine, a high of 72. More sun Sunday, a high of 75. That's your WDPN weather.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
It is an AWP Safety Football Friday here. Sam Bourquin Show live from the University of Mount Union today on AM 1310 WDPN. You can watch and listen to, well, you can see my shadowy self here as we come to you live from the press box here at Larry Kehres Stadium. You can listen as well on the WDPN Facebook page, our X page, and, of course, the Q92 Radio page on YouTube. Sam Bourquin live on location today. Ryan Rainsberg back at the studios of 1310 WDPN back on Smith Avenue as we come to you today for the Louisville and Alliance game tonight. It should be a really good game. I believe a touchdown kind of game, maybe either way. I can't wait to watch Alliance on offense, and I can't wait to watch Louisville on defense. So it's the immovable forces tonight. Something's got to give, and we think we got a pretty good game for you tonight. Pregame at 6:30. Myself and Caleb Norick will bring you all the action right here on AM 1310 WDPN. We've been with you here since 3 o'clock when we started our show, and again, shout out to AWP Safety. And shout out to Drew and his great staff. This is an AWP Safety Football Friday, and don't forget, they are now hiring. They're hiring traffic flaggers, and if you are interested, you want to make a little switch in your career, you're looking for another job, maybe you want to do something full-time, and you want to, hey, this sounds pretty interesting. AWP Safety could be for you. They offer paid training, certification. They offer advancement opportunities. All you have to do is visit jobs.awpsafety.com. Real simple. Jobs.awpsafety.com. And you just kind of take it from there. Okay? So AWP Safety, taking care of us here on our Football Fridays on 1310 WDPN. Our phone lines are open if you want to pop in, talk a little high school football. 330-821-1310. That's 330-821-1310. Sam, you look like a shadow. I know. I'm getting all these texts there. I'm waving to everyone. I'm here. We had to pull the blinds down, though, because we got to keep our equipment nice and cool for the broadcast tonight. And there's some other folk. Everybody and their mother is here today doing shows or doing the game, of course. And everybody's got their blinds pulled down. Everybody's got them pulled down because the sun really, really cooks in here between like 3:15 and like 6:30. So, all right, I see some activity as I look out the big window to my right. It looks like the Louisville Leopard football team is here. A couple of the big buses have just pulled in behind the Dom Capers press box here at Larry Kehres Stadium at Mount Union. And the Louisville Leopards are getting off the bus, and they are heading into the locker room. I haven't seen Coach Goodman or anybody from Alliance yet, so I'm not sure if they're here or not. But if they're not here, they'll be coming soon, and before you know it, guys will be out there getting ready for the ball game. Specialty teams will be out there. The linemen, the running backs, everybody will be out there in their individual groups with their coaches and getting ready for the big one here tonight between Louisville and Alliance. But if you want to talk a little high school football, would love to hear from you today. Maybe to let us know what game you're going to, who you're rooting for. You can give a little high school football shout out today. Shout out if you got a young man playing in the game. Maybe you got a young lady on the cheerleading squad, somebody on the in the concession stands, maybe somebody working up in the press box tonight. We'll give them a little love today here on the show, 330-821-1310, or you can let us know and drop some comments on all of our social media platforms. All you have to do is just search AM1310 WDPN, Instagram, Facebook, on X, and of course the Q92 Radio page on YouTube. We've talked a lot of high school football today. We've talked a lot of college football today, looking ahead to the big games this weekend. Obviously, the one that we are focused in on will be Ohio State and Texas at noon tomorrow. The Guardians are going to open up a 3-game series tonight against the Seattle Mariners. And I said it Wednesday, I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again right now. The Cleveland Guardians need to sweep the series if they have any hopes, any dreams of somehow trying to fight their way through and get that third wild card spot. They trail by 5. But because of the head-to-head with the Mariners this weekend, you could slash that down to 2 by Monday. Okay? So by the time the weekend is over, 65, 132, you'll have 135 games in. We play 162. Quick math, I think that means like 27 games left, I think. Somebody might want to double check me there. But if you could sweep Seattle, and I know it's going to be hard. I think it's going to be hard to win 2. But if somehow you could win 3 and you're only 2 out of that last wild card and you got, 26, 27 games to go, you got a semi-favorable schedule. I don't know. We've seen stranger things happen with this team, with this organization. We saw them get hot last year, and everything fell into place. Now, this year, I will say, not everything has fallen into place for Stephen Vogt and the Cleveland Guardians. So, is it going to be easy? Heck no. Is it going to be tough? Yeah, it's going to be tough. But you got to start tonight. Need to win tonight. Win tonight, you got to win Saturday. You win Saturday, you got to win on Sunday. Then you start feeling good, right? A little win streak. Now, don't forget, I believe they've got 6 games split up over a couple of series with Detroit. And by the time the Guardians and Tigers play, Detroit is probably going to have between a 7 and 10 game lead in the division, whether it's over Kansas City or over Cleveland. I'm not saying that they're just going to roll over and rest people, but if they've got the Central Division like as close to in the bag as they can, they might rest some guys. That could help Cleveland in those 6 games, 3 in Detroit and 3 at Progressive Field. I know I'm probably wishing here, but there's still a shot. It's not a great shot, but there's still a shot. So hopefully the Guardians can get off to a good start tonight and have a good weekend. We're going up to the ball game tomorrow night, so hopefully a win, and we'll get things going. But 66 and 66, who'd have thought? They're right smack dab at 500, and they are only 3 and 7 in their last 10. So it's not like they've been tearing the cover off the ball and pitching the heck out of the ball and doing everything right. But they've somehow just kind of give themselves a chance. But we'll give you updates during our football game tonight here on WDPN as Louisville will take on Alliance. And kind of wanted to talk about a couple of the real special players here tonight. My gosh, they're all over the place. Louisville and Alliance. I think the skilled. I can't wait to watch the skilled kids play. I can't wait to watch the big bruisers on the defensive line for Louisville. I do think this game's going to be fun. I think it's. I love to watch a game, especially where when you really think one offense is really, really, really good and one defense could be really, really good. Now, look, it's a very small sample size. We've only seen one game. Okay. Both these teams are 1-0. Leopards beat New Philly 24-0. And Alliance beat the Parma Padova last weekend by the score of 25-3. So we don't know a lot. There's not a lot of film there. There's just not a lot of snaps. It's only been one game. But looking at these rosters and looking at the skilled kids and looking at some of the defensive backs, this leans me to believe that this game is going to be very, very, very close. Now, if you ask me high scoring or low scoring, I don't know. I could give you a couple different. With J.R. Jackson and Ravon Hawkins for Alliance, they could score every time they touch the ball. Louisville's got some nice players. Owen DiMarzio. It's a guy you want to keep your eyes on tonight or your ears open to if you're listening on 1310 WDPN. Jay Hart. I mean, that's why I'm so excited about this game, because like you can talk about it. You can say, hey, Louisville's got this, Alliance has that, and you can mention the teams and the heights and the weights and the positions and what's going on so far this year. But I can't wait to watch them go up against each other, and that's why we're here. We think we've got a really good ball game, a real competitive game tonight here in Alliance. And I like I said, I think I lean Louisville a little bit, but if Alliance could pop a couple of big ones quick, and then all of a sudden the Leopards are looking up at the scoreboard and it's 21-3 or 24-7, and Alliance is feeling good and they're playing good, sound, disciplined football, then who knows? I mean, this thing could be a shootout, or it could be 17-15. I'm telling you, this game could go either way. And I know that the fans coming out tonight are gonna have a great time watching this ball game. I think it's going to be a nice crowd. The weather is impeccable, just impeccable. You could come out tonight in the t-shirt and shorts, a little polo. You could come out and just maybe a little 3/4 zip and a little ball cap. You might bring a little jacket. It's beautiful. You can see behind me the beautiful blue skies in the sun. This is a great night for football. Now the wind has picked up just a little bit, and it's kind of blowing across the field now from the home side over to the visiting side. And again, here at Mount, we broadcast on the visiting side because that's the side of the stadium that the press box is on. You've got the covered stands for the home side on the other side of the field. But the wind has picked up just a little bit, but I don't think that's going to be much of a factor tonight for this ball game at all. Also, another reminder, I wanted to mention to you, the McKinley St. Augustine game tonight over at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. That game has been moved back an hour, so it will kick off tonight at 8 p.m. The McKinley game tonight kicks off at 8 p.m. Over at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. I guess they got a game going on there now, and there was no way they could, turn everything around and get everybody ready to go and get everybody warmed up for a 7 o'clock game. So they decided just to push it back to 8 o'clock, which this early in the year, that's not a problem at all with this weather. So McKinley will go at 8 o'clock tonight if you were heading over to Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. All right, we are going to take a break. We're coming up on 5:24 here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Phones are open, 330-821-1310. The text line is open at 330-924-7088. And don't forget, you can always drop some comments to us on the Q92 Radio page on YouTube and on X and on Facebook. We'll come back with more. Stay with us.
Did you know that in Stark County, there are over 750 active 4-H members? Hi, I'm Ashley Wentling, and I raise dairy beef feeders, dairy beef steers, and market beef steers. Through the 4-H program, kids have the opportunity to learn about science, agriculture, cooking, sewing, leadership, character, and so much more. You can help support the local 4-H program by making a donation or a purchase during the Stark County Junior Fair livestock sale starting August 27th through the 30th. Support your local 4-H and visit juniorfairauctions.com for more information.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below, you take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
Oh, yeah. Looked like a little college football music to get you ready. There's some football here tonight. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show on an AWP Safety Football Friday on AM 1310 WDPN, broadcasting live here from Larry Kehers Stadium, Mount Union, home of the Purple Raiders, and tonight home for the Alliance Aviators. They're longtime homer. They've been playing home games here for decades. They'll play the Louisville Leopards tonight. Should be fun. Pregame at 6:30, the kick at 7 here on AM 1310 WDPN. Jeff Faulkner, one of the assistant coaches for Louisville, just popped in to say hello. Known Jeff since I was probably 8 or 9 years old. We've known each other forever, so I appreciate him coming up here and popping in and saying hello before he goes back down to get ready for the big ball game tonight. Just because we're on the road, that doesn't stop us from on this day in sports history. Should we go back this far? Yeah, I think we will. 1892, Pop Shriver of the Chicago Cubs caught a ball that was dropped from the top of the Washington Monument in Washington, D.C. That was back in 1892. Holy cow. 1971, Hank Aaron became the first baseball player in the National League to hit 100 or more home runs in each of his 11 seasons. Number 7, 1977, Lou Brock brought his total of stolen bases to 893. The record he beat was held by Ty Cobb for 49 years. On this day in 1994, a little hockey for you, Mario Lemieux announced he would be taking a medical leave of absence due to fatigue and after effect of his 1993 radiation treatments. He would sit out the NHL 94-95 season, but he would later come back. All right, that is another edition of On This Day in Sports History. That'll take us right up to break here on the Sam Bourquin Show. The news and weather next on AM 1310 WDPN.
California to other states. Texas Governor Greg Abbott today signed legislation creating a new U.S. House map, giving the GOP a chance to win as many as 5 more seats in next year's elections. In response to Texas, California Democrats are asking voters there to approve revised House districts that give Democrats a chance at winning 5 more seats. Officials in other states, including Missouri, Ohio, Indiana, Florida, New York, and Maryland, also are considering redrawing congressional districts to try to gain a partisan advantage. Former Vice President Kamala Harris has lost her Secret Service security detail. A copy of a memo reviewed by ABC News shows that Harris's detail will be revoked starting September 1st as she prepares to go on tour for her upcoming book. More from ABC's Karen Travers at the White House.
There's a traditional 6-month period that former vice presidents are given under law because of being a vice president. And then President Biden had extended that an additional 12 months for a total of 18 months. But the president is revoking that security detail effective September 1st. Vice President Harris is supposed to be going out on a very significant book tour in the coming weeks, very publicized in big cities. So now there are a lot of questions about what this new development will mean for that tour.
On this big holiday getaway day, problems are growing for some traveling by air. Over 400 flights have been canceled in the U.S. today, and 2,200 more delayed, with the biggest problems at Dallas, Fort Worth, and in Austin, San Antonio, and Houston. Dallas and Houston are big hubs for American and United Airlines. The region has been hit by thunderstorms since Thursday night. American Airlines has the most canceled flights of any airline in the world today. It's 67 degrees in Alliance at 5:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon with a high near 74 degrees. Chance of rain 50%. Overnight showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise cloudy, a low near 52. Patchy fog early Friday. Otherwise mostly sunny, a high 68. Sunshine Saturday, a high 72. More sun on Sunday with a high of 75. That's your WDPN weather.
And welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. It's an AWP Safety Football Friday here on AM 1310 WDPN as we're broadcasting our show today. Got our own little broadcast booth, my little home away from home. As I'm here I'm here every Saturday. Mount Union's here, and if they're not here, we go on the road with them. But high school football tonight here in the Carnation City as the Leopards and the Aviators get ready to go here at 7 o'clock. Our pregame begins at 6:30. Caleb Norick will be joining me tonight for the ball game. It will be our second game together, and looking forward to working with Caleb. I wonder if Caleb's going to bring any food, because I think we are blank out of luck as far as having any goodies in the press box tonight. I brought my Yeti, and I filled it up with ice, and I've been making some trips down the hall to the water fountain. But Caleb, if you're listening, feel free to stop somewhere on the way and bring some stuff up to the booth. Unfortunately, I can't pay you unless you have a credit card machine. I can send you some money. I don't know what the word Venmo or PayPal or Cash App. I don't know what any of that means. So that's not going to happen. Although my wife did install Venmo on my phone. I have no idea how to use it. No idea. 330-821-1310 is our number. 330. Here he comes. Well, I guess he won't be bringing anything. Here he comes. The big man from Kent McKinley and Malone, Caleb Norick, has jumped in. I was talking to you over the radio, but you probably didn't hear me because you were on your way in. I was like, I think we're out of luck with refreshments tonight. And I was like, Caleb, if you're on your way over, stop at State Street and pick up some stuff for us. But yeah, all we got is the water fountain down the hall. That's about it. But both teams are finally here. Louisville got here first. I think the Aviators just got here. They got the PA cranked up a little bit, and the countdown is on for kickoff. Again, our pregame at 6:30, and the tip at I keep saying the tip-off, the kickoff tonight, coming up here at 7 on AM 1310 WDPN. Don't forget, we've got a slew of games for you tonight on the Q92 Radio Sports Network. We'll be running that schedule down for you a little bit. Of course, a huge weekend. The college football coming up. Ohio State, Texas leading the way there. You got Clemson, LSU. You got Miami of Florida, Notre Dame. TCU in North Carolina. You got Alabama, Florida State. So a big weekend of college football. And then the Brownies and the Bengals get together a week from this Sunday at the stadium up in Cleveland. 330-821-1310 is our number. 330-821-1310. You want to jump in? Why not? Grab that headset there. And there he is. How you doing, partner?
I'm good. Week 2, here we go.
Here we go. How'd you, any trouble getting in? Good? Good to go?
Nope, we're good.
Take the elevator up, or did you walk?
I walked, got the steps
You
in.
Yeah. I did too.
I don't know if I'll do that again, but.
Yeah, I usually when I come over to do the Mount games, I always take the elevator up. But that door was locked today. So I had to go down to the next one, and I had to haul the stuff up the steps. But that's okay. I need to get some steps in as well. So our second ball game, and we had the Marlington game. What a difference a week makes as far as the weather. I mean, it was humid, it was sticky. Tonight, I don't think we're going to get to 70. I think we're going to be around 68, 69 by kickoff. We could be in the low 60s. By the time we walk out of here tonight, it's going to be in the 50s. You talk about a perfect night for football. I think we got one here, don't we?
Yeah. Yeah, you have to look at the calendar. It's still August, right? It feels like late September,
It does.
mid-October.
It does. And I'm thinking, gosh, and I'm looking at the long term for like the next 2 weeks. A couple of days mixed in there with the 80s, but most of it's like low 70s. I don't want to get rid of the warm weather yet, but it'll be interesting to see how the teams adapt. We had how many guys laying around on the field last week with cramps and everything. We had a 3-hour extravaganza last week at Marlington, and I hope you didn't tell your wife you'd be home by 9 tonight because you never know.
Last week we were the last game in Stark County.
We were.
We might be tonight too, but for a different reason.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The only McKinley plays at 8 o'clock tonight.
That's true.
But
we got that going for us.
We got that going for us. But yeah, I think tonight should be fun. I'm looking forward to this. I've kind of been on this Louisville train here the last couple of months, just hearing all the good things about it, and the kids coming back, and Chris Kappas with his 3rd year, and man, Alliance. I mean, you're going to love watching Aviators play with J.R. Jackson, a quarterback, and Tajay Nicholson, and Ravon Hawkins at running back, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't decide if it's going to be high scoring, if it's going to be low scoring. I think it's going to be close. We hope it's going to be close. Yeah. But do you got a feel either way coming in, and what you're looking for, and what we might see?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Together, the teams gave up 3 points last week. So
right.
The defenses were there. Of course, small sample size, but
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how Louisville responds if, I think you said this on the show already, but if the Lions comes out with a couple quick scores.
Yeah, then what
how
happens?
do they respond? And same thing for the Aviators. If Louisville goes another long, time-sucking drive, sometimes you have a tendency to want to come back and go score as quick as you can. And, sometimes it's not there. You don't want to make mistakes and compound the problem. So,
yeah, we when I started the show today, I had the curtain or the blinds all the way up.
Yeah.
And within about 15 minutes, this thing was mercifully hot, and we actually got knocked off for a minute or two. And I hated to put this down, but we had to keep the sun out. So I've been covering up a few things here, and by the time we kick off, or a little bit after kickoff, we should be in good shape. But if you're coming to the game tonight and you're a Louisville fan, you're going to be looking in to Mr. Sunshine until it goes down behind the stands. So you might want to bring your Oakleys or your Ray-Bans or whatever you got, because you're going to need them tonight here at the University of Mount Union. Now, next Friday is a road trip heading up to Streetsboro for Alliance and the Streetsboro Rockets next Friday at 7 p.m. I was doing a little homework today. trying to get a feel for their facility. I pulled up a couple of pictures and was looking at the press box, and doesn't look very big.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll have our
same. I don't know what that says about us. The first thing we look at is
right.
where we're going to be sitting.
Now, it doesn't look like the bleachers go up really high, so that's kind of good, I guess. But it doesn't. The press box does not look very big. Hopefully, we have our own little room, maybe.
We're going to be spoiled every time we come here to Mount.
I know, and it's I very rarely are here on Friday nights. I'm always here on Saturdays for Mount, but have not done a ton of Alliance games over the last several years. So it's kind of cool to be here on a Friday night. See a game because Mount plays all day games. Kind of cool to be here to watch a game under the lights and watch the fans interact. And I'm thinking we're gonna have a really, really good football game here tonight. I've been thinking a little bit about what we saw last week with Marlington, and every day that goes by, and I didn't see any tape or anything, but gosh, I really think that freshman quarterback, if he stays healthy and he does what freshmen do, and that's get bigger, faster, stronger over the next 3 years, I think he could be really something special by his senior year. And I'm not trying to rush it by because you want to enjoy everything as they're growing up and they're being students and student athletes and they're in high school and doing things and learning about life. But I just think poise-wise, I think he's got it already.
He seemed to have the it factor. He didn't do a lot offensively, but he didn't need to. He did what he needed to do. He made the throws he needed to make. He really had one bad kind of ended up being intentional grounding. He just got lost in the pocket. Should have thrown it away, but as a coach, you could probably live with that if that's what you walk away and say, okay, we got to fix that. But other than that, now it helps when you got guys like Cam Evidence around you that can go and make plays. But as a quarterback, you still got to manage the game, and he did well. We'll see how he does. We have him again in a couple weeks, I think, or towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I brought
this Louisville team in a couple weeks, I believe.
Yeah, I brought the schedule over. And stuff sitting around all over the place here, but I think we will be Streetsboro next Friday, and then I think we're back here. Maybe.
You got Louisville Marlington on September 12th, so we'll see him again in 2 weeks.
And that's at Marlington.
At Marlington.
Okay, so we'll be at Streetsboro next week, and then the following week we'll be at Marlington. Well, that should be a fun game too. That's because now we will have done a Marlington game. We will have done a Louisville game.
Yep.
So we'll have a little idea there, and
then we kind of follow Alliance around for a couple weeks in a row, and at the end of the year we'll see him against Marlington. So
yeah,
it'll be exciting.
It'll be fun. Here we are, week 2, and we're looking down the road. But that's what we do in the media. Coaches don't do that, but we can do that. Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN, joined by my partner Caleb Norick. He'll be joining me tonight for the pregame at 6:30. We'll kick it off at 7. 1-0 Louisville and 1-0 Alliance. I mentioned the games going on tonight around Stark County, all the games we're covering on the Q92 Sports Network. Is there a game or two that stands out to you more than the others, and your thoughts on any of those?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the McKinley game. Just around Stark County, big win week 1. Coach Parnell. Now you come home first time in that stadium as the head coach, and see what that looks like.
Playing a pretty good team too. I don't know a lot about St. Augustine, New York, but I know they're a really good football program.
Yeah.
So
and sometimes they schedule those types of games. You kind of know maybe you won't win, but you see how your team responds, and you expose some weaknesses early, and then you have time to adjust. It doesn't help you in the rankings, but it doesn't hurt you that much. And so they kind of are prepping for that.
Again, if you're going over to the McKinley game tonight, don't forget that game will not kick off until 8 p.m. So make sure you are aware of that. I think the Jackson-Austintown Fitch game tonight could be pretty special. You could catch that on one of our streams on the Q92 Sports Network. Now, I'd feel a lot better about it if Jackson was at home. Fitch is a tough place to play. They have a great crowd over there. It's a little bit of a hike. And traditionally, our teams don't fare great over there. But Jackson, with the win last week, and they did it without their starting quarterback. They had some guys step up and play. And I don't know if this is the Fitch of old, the Fitch of the last couple of years. But again, it's a road trip, and I got to believe that's going to be close. Yeah, I mean, there's several good games. That's a tough road trip. You know, Lake has the same thing going over the Boardman. Yeah. We'll kind of see, what that looks like. Perry's got St. Vincent, and then Canton South, I believe it's CBCA's season opener. I think they didn't play last week. I think they had a scheduling conflict, if I'm remembering correctly. So South, so there's some good games all across the Q92 Sports Network. New Philly and West Branch. The West Branch opened up a new stadium, right? Is this their first week, or were they home last week? They were at Canfield last week, and they
renovations.
They put a lot of money in over there. Yeah. We're talking with an M. They've done a really nice job, and I can't wait. We're not over there till later in the year, but I can't wait to check it out over there at West Branch and all the incredible things they've done with Clinton Heacock Stadium over there in Beloit. We're looking forward to that, of course. But West Branch, I think, gave up 3 touchdowns on special teams last weekend to Canfield. Now, you could say, well, if you wipe those off the board, yeah, but you can't. But if you could feasibly, West Branch probably wins that game. They get a tough road win. Now they're coming back and taking on a New Philly team that Louisville hammered 24-0 a week ago. I think New Philly might be down a little bit, but I think we all know West Branch. They'll get chugging here. Week 6, week 7, week 8. They'll be there. They'll be there. That's a nice little football program. They won I can't remember the year offhand. I want to say 95, maybe 96. West Branch won the state championship. They captured the crown. This was when the state football championships were being they were back and forth between Fawcett Stadium and Paul Brown Tiger Stadium. And I believe West Branch was D3 that year, so they played at Massillon, and they won the state championship that year. And I know that was a day that they'll never forget. I mean, you grow up, whatever town you're in, whatever city you're in, and you think, gosh, will that be us one day? And especially if you'd struggled. Then you think, we'll never see that, okay? And then the light goes on, the program gets better, maybe it's a coaching change, maybe more kids start coming up for football, the schedule lines up for you, you catch a couple of breaks, nobody gets hurt, and then you get that thing called momentum, which is so important and so crucial, especially in high school athletics. And you're like, hey, why not us? And you win a playoff game, okay? You win another one, and you can start seeing the shadows of the trophy that could be coming home to your trophy case. And you win another one, and now it's time to go. And you're like, wow, we're here. We might as well win it, right? We're here. And that's exactly what West Branch did that year. I remember they played a phenomenal playoff game against Steubenville at Fawcett along the way that year in the playoffs. And everybody thought that was where the rubber was going to meet the road. That was going to be it, because Steubenville came up and they had like one loss. And big, how Big Red rolls, Reno Succotash, and all the tradition there. And they came up, and West Branch popped them in the mouth. It was a great game. They ended up winning the game. And they would go on to the state championship, and they would win it. So West Branch can play a little ball. Alliance has a really nice tradition here. People forget about some of the really good teams they had here with Joel Cockley and Coach Kuzieski had some real good football teams over here. They played back in the old days of the All-American Conference, and things have changed now. Things are a lot different, but there's a nice tradition here. With guys like Zurbrugg and Hawkins and guys that can play, and then the Marlington. We talked about the glory days of their program with Alden Hill and DeMonte Thomas and Zach Higgins and Coach Ed Miley, and the buzzsaw that was booked when they ran into at Fawcett during their playoff run. The NBC, now the EBC, and Minerva had some great years too. Back when, the running back, Leon Powell from Minerva, when he was running for it seemed like 15,000 yards every time he touched the ball. So I know the emphasis a lot of the time is on the Federal League. It's on some of the independents. You know, when Central was rolling and St. Thomas had some really good teams back in the late 80s. And, of course, Massillon is Massillon. People kind of forget a little bit about what goes on here on this side of the county. But there's some good football over here.
Sure.
There really is.
You mentioned those teams. It seems like there's a common thread, though, too, that there's a guy that just kind of gets fire and has a great run. And sometimes it's a guy you see coming.
Mm-hmm.
You knew that he was a stud. And sometimes it's a guy that kind of comes out of nowhere and just goes on a run, whether it's a running back or a quarterback. And I remember Keys Teague several years ago, St. Vincent St.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
He went on a run where they seemed unstoppable and nobody could tackle him, and so that's what these teams are looking for. It's all about peaking at the right time and hoping to go on a run.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. As you mentioned, peaking at the right time, and now more than ever, because when 2 teams per region made the playoffs, you probably wanted to peak a little bit earlier. Now, you don't really have to peak until maybe week 8 or week 9, and then you jump into week 10. And if you finish in the top 2 or top 4, you got to bye. So there's another week that you got to kind of get things together and get the bumps and bruises healed up and all those things. So
which there's different philosophies on that. Some coaches don't want that.
Yeah,
they want to play.
Don't
want to sit around. But
I would be the
high school
guy.
Football, when you're recovering and you got.
Yeah,
you might want it.
It's 50-50. If I was a coach, I would be the guy. Even if I was playing, I think I don't want the bye. I want to keep my routine. I'm a creature of habit. Right.
You sit around for a week and you beat each other up in practice, but you don't even know who you're playing, preparing for. And
you can imagine the challenges of the coaches that week. You know how high school kids can be sometimes, and their minds doing it. You're not going to get them to go 100% when they know that there's no treat at the end of the day, at the end of the week, because there's no game. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of the bye thing. Some coaches are, some aren't. I kind of wish the OHSA didn't have that at all, so nobody had to think about it, but they did, and it's still going to be a 16-week season for the 7 champions that will be crowned here coming up in 2025. All right, we'll take a break. We got about 7 minutes left in the show. 330-821-1310 is our telephone number. Don't forget to search us up on all of your 1310 WDPN social media platforms on X, Facebook, Instagram, and, of course, the Q92 Radio page on YouTube. Sam Bourquin Show, joined by my partner, Caleb Norick, here for the last couple of minutes. We'll take a break and come back to Larry Kehres Stadium on AM 1310 WDPN. It's an AWP Safety Football Friday.
There's exciting high school football this Friday night right here on AM 1310. Join Sam Bourquin as he calls the play-by-play action as the Louisville Leopards take on the Alliance Aviators. Hear it all live here on AM 1310. Kickoff at 7 p.m. this Friday. Louisville and Alliance in high school football.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel you attract people who tend to be compulsive or abusive?
Do you have money problems because of someone else's drinking?
Are you afraid or embarrassed to bring your friends home?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
More than half of all adults have a family history of alcoholism.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for and there they go. Almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We are back at the University of Mount Union, Larry Kehers Stadium, here on AM 1310 WDPN, as we are on a AWP Safety Football Friday. Sam Bourquin here with you. Caleb Norick, thank him for dropping by. He'll be we'll be back together at 6:30 for the pregame. The kick at 7. The Aviators and the Leopards tonight. Big game, good game coming up here on AM 1310 WDPN. There, you can see me there a little bit. We were able to put the blinds up a little bit, because the clouds, some of the clouds have kind of covered the sun up. But now, as soon as I did that, the sun is coming out again. But, yeah, good view here. I think they've, let's see, have they opened the gates up? Yes, they have opened the gates. And some of the fans have started to roll in over there on the side for Alliance. And over here, the Leopard fans will be sitting this evening over here on the visiting stands at Larry Kehres Stadium. So football tonight here. We've got a bunch of games all along the Q92 Sports Network. You want to check those out as well. And we're going to have a great night. We got some great games. Obviously, we got some great broadcast teams. We got a great crew back at the station tonight with 1310 WDPN and, of course, Q92 Radio. And a shout-out to all the hard workers back on Smith Avenue tonight, doing a great job for you as we bring you week 2 of the high school football season. So during our game tonight, don't forget, we'll give you updates on all the other games. We will update you on what the Guardians and the Mariners are up to. And, of course, we'll have this one for you tonight. And we think this is going to be a pretty entertaining game. That's why we're here. We thought it was going to be close. And when I mean close, within a score, maybe a 7 to 10 point range. Who knows? I can tell you till I'm blue in the face what I think is going to happen. But in reality, I have no idea what's going to happen. But I do know it's going to be fun. We're going to see some great athletes out here tonight. We're going to see some great coaching. And this is what it's all about, week 3 of high school football. I'm sorry, week 2 of high school football here on 1310 WDPN. Again, a shout-out to AWP Safety, proud sponsors of the AWP Safety Football Friday show on 1310 WDPN. All right, that is going to wrap things up for us here. And we'll take a little bit of a break, and we'll be back at 6:30 or so with the pregame, and then we'll kick it off at 7 with Alliance and Louisville. Thanks to Rainsburg doing a great job back at the studio today. Thanks to all of you for listening and commenting and spending some time with us this afternoon. And we'll be back here in a little bit. We'll get you ready for football tonight. But for now, Sam Bourquin saying so long on AM 1310 WDPN. But football is back in about 30 minutes, so stay with us, everybody. Enjoy.